How are you this strong, Uzumaki? Muttered a battered and broken Tobai. It's simple, I fight for something greater transformation. And I believe the path forward begins with the Akatsuki. Admit it, Izuna. Your time has ended, and your scheme has crumbled. I now lead the Akatsuki. You are nothing more than history. Naruto declared as he thrust his blade through Uchiha Izuna's chest, extinguishing the legacy of a bygone era. It's finished. The Akatsuki belongs to me now, he stated, pulling his sword from Izuna's body and sheathing it calmly. He turned his attention to the four figures standing behind him. So, you've taken over the Akatsuki. What's your next move, dead last? Came the sardonic voice of Uchiha Sasuke. First off, I'm no longer the dead last. Second, you're part of my command now, Sasuke. Taka falls under Akatsuki's rule. And third, I'm going to eliminate that abomination. Naruto said, gesturing at the Jito statue. Kasame, destroy it. Understood, Kasame replied, forming the seals for the water shark bullet technique and launching a volley at the Jito Maazo. It crumbled into debris. Zetsu, locate hidden, he could be useful. Zetsu gave a nod and sank into the earth to follow orders. And me, Naruto-sama? Asked Konan with her calm, melodic voice. You will stay by my side, Konan. As you once followed Nagato, you now follow me. Our next step is to find new members for the Akatsuki. Sasuke, you're doing the same. Take one teammate to Kirigakure. Send the other two to Kumigakure. And you, where are you heading? Sasuke asked. To Konoha. Konoha, midnight, the hidden leaf was slowly mending. A fourth of the village was already rebuilt, while most of the rest was halfway there. Pain really tore this place apart, Yamato said as he patrolled the quiet streets. He did level the entire village. Of course he did, Kakashi replied, his eyes scanning the pages of his ever-present Ika book. Senpai, please don't call me by that name. Oh right, you did mention that, my bad. By the way, has there been any word on Naruto? Kakashi let out a long breath. No, and I doubt there will be. When Naruto wants to disappear, he vanishes completely, and that's what has me worried. Maybe he just needed time. Facing your godfather's killer isn't something you bounce back from easily. He could be trying to heal. I hope you're right, Yamato, I really do. You did it again, Senpai. Did I say something? And no, you're hopeless sometimes. Unbeknownst to them, the subject of their discussion stood silently above them on a rooftop, his newly adorned Akatsuki robe fluttering in the breeze. Entry successful, time to begin. We're here to recruit, and since I grew up in this place, I know exactly who to target. I'll follow your lead, Naruto-sama. No, Konan, you stay hidden, they know your face. You helped level this village and they'll spot you instantly. They still trust me, so I'll move freely. Stay in the shadows and only act if absolutely necessary. Understood. One more thing, hold on to this for me, said Naruto as he pulled off his hood, unfastened the cloak, and handed it to Konan, who stored it carefully. It's the same cloak Tobai once wore when he revealed himself as Madara, but with full sleeves like Sasuke's version. Naruto then took his leaf forehead protector and tied it on. It's still unscratched. Fully prepared, he leapt to the streets below and approached the two Jonin. Hey, Kakashi-sensei, Captain Yamato. And Naruto, where have you been? Kakashi asked in shock. I needed to clear my head. Sorry if I worried you. It's all right, Naruto, but now that you're here, let's catch you up. What I miss? There's a summit planned in the Land of Iron. All 5 Kage will meet to talk about Akatsuki. No need. I ran into Tobai while I was gone. Let's just say he won't be a problem anymore. You killed Tobai, that's incredible. We must inform the council right away, Yamato exclaimed. You know how I feel about the council. I get it, Naruto, but they need to know. You've taken out the Akatsuki's head. This could cancel the whole summit. Just meet with them once, Naruto, Kakashi urged. That's all we ask. Fine, let's go. Yamato and Kakashi turned toward the council's chambers. Naruto trailed behind on purpose. He gave a subtle nod to a shadowed alley. From that darkness, Konan emerged. In a flash, she dropped Yamato and buried a kunai in his chest. Kakashi barely turned before a sharp pain tore through him. He looked back, wide-eyed, to see Naruto gripping the katana that skewered him. Why? Kakashi whispered before falling limp. Naruto withdrew the blade and sheathed it. Preserve them, Konan. Their techniques and knowledge will serve us. Yes, Naruto-sama. Konan summoned her paper jutsu, wrapped the bodies, and sealed them in a scroll. With them gone, this mission just got a lot smoother. Do you have potential recruits in mind? Yes, the hard part will be turning their loyalty, but I know 1 or 2 who'd follow me regardless. Who's at the top of your list? Hyuga Hinata. temporary Hyuga residence in her room, Hinata Hyuga sat quietly on her bed, gazing out at the stars and feeling the night's cool wind on her skin. Dressed in a simple bra and sweatpants, she ran a finger over the faint scar left by pain and recalled that day. Naruto-kun, where are you? Have you been avoiding me? Did the Akatsuki take you? Kami, no, please be safe. My heart is always with you. With a soft sigh, she lay back. A breeze flowed in, and she glanced toward the window. There, half inside her room and half outside, perched casually on the windowsill, was the person who haunted her dreams and thoughts. Evening, Hinata, Naruto said gently. And Naruto-kun. Who else rocks this much orange? She giggled lightly. Only you could pull that off. You've grown more confident, Hinata. Usually you'd pass out by now. Yes, what happened with pain changed me. It gave me strength to tell me you love me. I remember, that's why I'm here. He stepped into her room and approached her. What are you saying, Naruto-kun? She asked, blushing at the implication. Hinata, look at this. He raised his right hand, palm down. She focused, then gasped. On his thumb was the ring marked Rei, the Akatsuki leader's ring. Her expression shifted from confusion to horror. She began backing away. Hinata, please, just hear me out. If you ever cared about me at all, then stay. I'll listen at least. That's all I ask. Naruto gestured for her to sit back down, and naturally she did. He took a seat in the chair beside her bed. It's true, I've aligned myself with the Akatsuki. In fact, I now lead it. I joined because I genuinely believe the only path to lasting peace is through them. During my talk with Nagato, Pain's real form, I realized I couldn't bring peace to the world alone. I needed a force behind me, influence, power, resources. With limited options, I turned to the last place I thought I would, the Akatsuki. To be straight with you, Hinata, I've already eliminated 2 former allies because they were a threat to my mission. Who? Naruto-kun, Kakashi and Yamato. They were planning to report to the council that I had defeated Tobai. That would have prevented the Cage Summit from happening, and I couldn't let that happen. What do you intend to do at the summit? You'll know when the time is right. But remember, every step I've taken and will take is in pursuit of peace. I will bring Iro Sennin's dream to life. But I can't do it alone. That's why I'm telling you all of this and giving you this. Naruto reached into his pocket and tossed something toward Hinata. She caught it and opened her palm to see a ring. This one engraved with the word Hoku, North, formerly worn by Kakuzu. Naruto-kun, why are you giving me this? It's because I trust you, Hinata. If you decide to come, meet me at the village gates in 1 hour. With those final words, Naruto vanished in a blur of shadow, headed for his next destination. Haruno Sakura. Medical tent. Sakura stepped inside her tent after a long shift. With a deep sigh, she sank into her chair, unaware she wasn't alone. You know, ignoring someone is kinda rude, Sakura-chan. Huh, Naruto. When did you get back? Just now, and I have urgent news. What is it? I've found Sasuke. What? Where is he? He's joined the Akatsuki, not as a full member, but under their command, acting more like an independent operative. Sasuke-kun, he wouldn't do that, right? Why not? I did. What do you mean? Her question was answered when Naruto held up his ring, the Zero Ring. This proves it. I'm the Akatsuki's leader now. And I'm offering you a chance, Sakura-chan. Not only to improve your skills, but to be near Sasuke again. Isn't that what you want? Hi, more than anything. Then take this. He threw her a ring. This one marked Ao Blue, once worn by Deidara. When you're ready, meet me at the gates in 1 hour. And with that, Naruto vanished again. On his way through the residential area, he spotted a commotion, 3 rough-looking men surrounding a boy about a year younger than him. Black spiked hair, green eyes, civilian clothes. Hand over everything you've got, brat. You really don't want to pick a fight with me, walk away. 3 of us, 1 of you, don't push your luck, we won't say it again. Go ahead. Repeat it, I love hearing lies. Before anyone could react, the boy darted forward, gripping the lead thug by the neck. 2 clones appeared instantly and mirrored the move on the others. Choking filled the alley. That sound music to my ears, the boy muttered before snapping the man's neck. His clones followed suit, and their victims dropped lifeless. Naruto, watching from a nearby rooftop, gave a low whistle. Nicely done. What's your name? Mandu, Kazuhiro Mandu, and you? Uzumaki Naruto. And what do you want from me, Naruto-san? You. I'm assembling a new unit under the Akatsuki banner. We could use someone like you. Sounds interesting, I'm in. Naruto tossed down another ring. This one bore the word Shu, vermilion formerly attaches. Meet me at the gates in an hour. And once more he disappeared. Residential area. Naruto spent 15 minutes locating the right tent. When he found it, he stepped inside with a grin. Yo, Konohamaru. Get up. Konohamaru stirred and blinked at him groggily. Nia-chan, what's going on? I need your help with something. Help with what? The Akatsuki. Come on, quit messing around. I'm not joking. I've taken over the Akatsuki. I want you to come with me. Are you insane? Pain destroyed our home, he killed your godfather, and now you've joined the same group. What's wrong with you? It's for peace. Your grandpa believed in it. So did Iro-sennin, my father too, and now so do I. Why don't you? Your father, who was he? You wouldn't believe me. Try me. The fourth Hokage, Namikaze Minato. You're lying. I'm not, but he's not the point. Will you come for me, or for the memory of your grandfather? If all three of you believed in this dream, then fine, I'm in. Here. Naruto handed him a ring with Gyoku Jewel Tobai's former ring. Pack up. We leave immediately. Hi, I know this is huge, but it's for something greater. It'll be hard, but you won't regret it. But the Akatsuki is made up of S-rank criminals. I'm not even ready for the Chunin exams yet. I'll train you, bring out your full potential. You won't be the only one from Konoha joining us. Sakura, Hinata, and another recruit are coming too. Well, that's comforting, Konohamaru muttered sarcastically. Happy to help, now let's move. Village gates. Naruto and Konohamaru arrived at the gates. The others were already waiting. Perfect, everyone's here. There's one more person joining us. Conan, come on out. Following his command, Conan emerged from the shadows and stood at Naruto's side. This is Conan, my second in command. She'll be with us for the journey. Where are we heading? Asked Mandu. To the ruins of Uzushiagakure. Why there, Naruto-kun? Aimgakure was compromised. I won't risk using it again. We'll rebuild Uzu in secret and establish our base there. Understood, Naruto-sama. The rebuilding will be discreet and untraceable. For now, we move toward Aimgakure. It'll be our temporary base. Any questions? Can we wear our rings now? Sakura asked. Yes, go ahead. They all slipped their rings on. Now remove your Konoha headbands and strike through the insignia. Hinata, Sakura, and Konohamaru did so. Mandu stood still. Mandu, you were a ninja, weren't you? I was, but I gave up that life long ago. Fair enough, then let's go. From this point on, you are all officially Akatsuki. Naruto turned and began walking. Once they crossed Konoha's border, he spoke one final phrase. Congratulations, you're now part of the Akatsuki. Serve with purpose and fulfill your duties, for from this moment on, you are marked as enemies by the shinobi nations. They will not hesitate to strike you down, so you must be just as merciless. You've chosen the right side, however. Only time will reveal if we prevail or fall. Are you really certain about inducting these rookies so soon, Naruto-sama? Conan asked, her arms crossed and her back resting against a nearby tree, concern etched on her face. You accepted me, didn't you? That was different. You overwhelmed Nagato's Deva path and even brought down Tobai. I still don't know how you managed the latter. You already know the answer, Conan. And these rookies, most of them are friends of mine, yes, but you're right. They're only Genin and Chunin. Perhaps making them full members was premature. Thank you, Naruto-sama. This is about Akatsuki, Conan. We need strength, and right now, we're barely holding a quarter of what we once were. Then we'll forge that strength, Naruto-sama. I hope you're right, Naruto murmured, casting his gaze skyward to the glowing full moon. Naruto-sama, get some rest, Conan, I'll take the night watch. Hi, she said, beginning to walk away. She paused, then turned to face him one last time. I'm glad it was you who inherited Yahiko and Nagato's ideals. Only you can make their dream reality, Naruto. I believe in you, always remember that. With that, Conan vanished into her tent. Left alone, Naruto let out a heavy sigh and dropped into the soft grass, arms folded behind his head as he stared at the starlit sky. As the leader of this new Akatsuki, the burdens on his shoulders had only grown heavier, none more so than being an outlaw of the hidden leaf. I wonder what price they'll put on my head. Killing Pain must have bumped me up to S-rank, maybe even added to my bounty just for harboring the Nine Tails. He thought bitterly. Those fools on the council, Ba-chan, Shizune, my friends, only they had any sense. He stopped himself there, not wanting to fall into old pain, but the grief crept in regardless. Iro-sennin, you believed in me. Truly believed that I'd make something of myself, the blonde whispered as tears began to roll down his cheeks. Would you even approve of what I've become? Kami, I miss you, Jiraiya-sensei. After wiping his face and regaining composure, Naruto stood and headed toward the camp, only to be intercepted by Zetsu, the bizarre plant-like entity. Naruto-sama, we've located Hidden, Zetsu reported. Good, retrieve his ring and return. You don't want Hidden himself. No, he's too volatile and would rebel. As a Jashinist, he'd view my mission for peace as heresy. He'd never follow me willingly. Just bring me his ring and eliminate the rest. Gladly, Naruto-sama. With that, Zetsu disappeared into the earth. Resuming his path, Naruto paused again upon seeing Hinata seated by the fire, still awake. Shaking it off, he walked over and joined her in silence. You should be resting, Hinata. I know, but I can't sleep. What's troubling you? I just have questions. I'll answer whatever I can, he said, flashing a smile that made her cheeks turn red. Since when have you been using a katana? I thought it might be useful later on, which in part was true. Please, Naruto-kun, the real reason. All right. You deserve the truth, Hinata. I am the second sage of 6 paths. Her eyes widened. What? After fighting pain, I left to clear my thoughts. I stumbled upon the tomb of the sage himself. His spirit was waiting for me. He somehow knew I would come. He told me of his life and said I was destined to change the world like he once did. He transferred to me all he had left, his knowledge, his power, and his weapon. The Sennin no Tsurugi, the blade of the sage. With his blessing, I inherited everything, including the Rinnegan. He tasked me with saving this world. That is why I am the next Rikudo Sennin. Hinata listened intently but was clearly stunned, a trace of doubt flickering in her expression. May I see the Rinnegan? With a sigh, Naruto closed his eyes, channeled his chakra, and reopened them, revealing the fully awakened Rinnegan. As she gazed into them, Hinata was flooded with memories of facing pain, the resemblance to Yahiko now undeniable. Her attention drifted to his hair, which had taken on an orange hue. Your hair? It's due to the sage's power awakening my Uzumaki lineage. It should have turned red, but my father's influence gave it this orange shade, much like Yahiko's. That's why I resemble his Deva path. What does all this mean, Naruto-kun? It means I've been entrusted with the fate of the shinobi world. If I fail, then maybe it can't be saved. And us? I can't allow myself to get attached. Not now, there's too much at stake. I'm sorry, Hinata. I understand, I'll wait for you. I'd like that, give me time and I promise we'll make it real. Arigato, Naruto-kun. No, thank you, Hinata-chan, for believing in me. Aichi called me Hinata-chan, yes. Inner Hinata squealed, her outer self bright red with joy. Naruto noticed, chuckled softly, and deactivated his Rinnegan. Get some rest, Hinata, you'll need it. Hi, good night, Naruto-kun. Watching her disappear into her tent, Naruto centered himself and entered a meditative sage mode stance, drawing in the surrounding natural energy. Konoha early morning. So not only is Naruto missing, but Kakashi and Yamato too. This is becoming more troublesome by the minute, Nara Shikaku muttered, yawning as he was greeted by an ANBU at his window. Yes. The council is uneasy. 3 key shinobi disappearing overnight, they're demanding answers. Yugo, I'll need your help on this case. You have it, Shikaku-san. She removed her mask with a nod. Take your team and comb the forest again. If you find nothing, return and I'll inform the council myself. Hi, anything else? Be careful. With that, Yugo vanished. Damn it, where did you all disappear to? Naruto's camp, several miles out now that everyone's awake. I have something to say, Naruto announced to the gathered recruits, who immediately gave him their full attention. After talking things over with Conan, we've agreed. None of you are ready for full Akatsuki membership yet. You all need more training. So I'll need you to return the rings I handed out last night. And who exactly are we yielding our positions to? Mandu asked, narrowing his eyes. You'll understand when we arrive in Aimgakure. For now, Conan, collect their rings. Each of the newly inducted members reluctantly handed over their rings to Conan, the angel of the Akatsuki, who promptly returned them to Naruto. This doesn't mean you're expelled from the Akatsuki, Naruto clarified. It simply means you're undergoing training to potentially inherit a role in the new order I'm establishing, should the need arise. So, we're like officers in training? Sakura questioned. Yes, everyone but you, Konohamaru. You still need more preparation than the rest. No offense, just being honest. I get it, and I don't mind. I'm willing to wait my turn. Good. With that settled, Naruto paused and turned toward a nearby tree, eyes narrowing. I sense them too, Naruto-sama, Conan said. ANBU, they've caught up to us. The presence of the masked elite wasn't hidden. 4 ANBU quickly surrounded them. One, recognizable even behind the mask, visibly tensed at the sight of Naruto in an Akatsuki cloak with striking orange hair. Yuzuki Yuugo should have known Konoha would send one of their top trackers, Naruto muttered. We were dispatched to pursue you, Kakashi and Yamato, but to find you a traitor, alongside Konoha's own, is disgraceful, Yuugo said, her voice heavy with disappointment. I'll rise or fall as needed, and I won't hesitate to eliminate anyone who stands in my way. I get the feeling that even if we walked away, you'd still kill us. You're sharp, Yuugo, you've seen too much. But tell me, ever played music? What are you, Mandu? Show her a melody. With pleasure, Naruto-sama, Mandu said darkly, stepping toward Yuugo. Music's your thing? Yuugo asked coldly. Enthusiast, Anbu-san. In a flash, Mandu vanished, his speed beyond even the Anbu's tracking ability, driving a brutal fist into Yuugo's abdomen. She crumpled, coughing up blood, as Mandu's wicked grin widened. Beautiful sound calms the spirit. With a follow-up kick to her temple, he sent her crashing to the ground, unconscious. During the distraction, Naruto eliminated the remaining Anbu with cold precision. Pick up our guest, Mandu. Hi. With Yuugo slung over his shoulder, Mandu rejoined the others, and the group resumed their trek toward Aimgakure. Konoha 3 days later. No, Danzu, I don't know their location. If I did, I wouldn't be standing here, Shikaku said sharply, just before Shizune burst in with Tsunade right behind her, clearly just recovered. Tsunade-sama, you're awake. Sooner than expected, huh? I've been filled in by Shizune. Then you know everything. I know my godson, 2 elite jounin and an ANBU squad have vanished in a single week. Feels like the work of the Akatsuki. I thought so as well. But we'll know when the scouts. Shikaku-sama, Tsunade-sama, a scout interrupted, rushing in. What is it? Tsunade demanded. We found the bodies of Yuzuki Yuugo's team dead not far from here. Tsunade's face went pale. And Yuugo, gone, ma'am, no traces, like she vanished entirely. Damn Akatsuki, Shikaku muttered. If they have Yuugo, then it's likely they also have Yamato, Kakashi and Naruto. I'll raise the matter at the Gakage summit. Until then, we need to stay calm. Panic won't solve anything. Hi, Shikaku replied, sighing deeply. Aimgakure. 10 minutes later, Yuugo began to stir. The sound of constant rain confirmed her location, Aimgakure. The room she awoke in was modest, but warm and comfortable. Looking down, she realized she had been stripped of gear, left in just black underwear and a tank top. Likely for safety. Remaining alert, she approached the door, cautiously opening it. No traps, no ambushes. She made her way down a corridor to a wide balcony that overlooked the village. There, seated atop a statue, was someone unmistakable. That hair pain, she murmured until he turned. So you're awake, Yuugo, Naruto said, catching her by surprise. Hi, I didn't expect to wake at all. Why am I still alive? Because it would have been a waste. You still have value. You expect me to join the Akatsuki, really? Come on, we have a past, Yuugo. Her lip curled slightly. Heh, that we do. Some might call it a fling, but that night we needed comfort, didn't we? Yes, we did. As Naruto turned to her fully, she noticed a tear streak down his cheek. It hurt, Yuugo-chan, letting Mandu do that. But I had no other way of getting you separated without suspicion. Now I ask you, please, support me. You know this world is broken. The Akatsuki needs capable allies. I need someone I can trust. Naruto-kun, I mean it, help me change things, I trust you. All right, I'm with you. Thank you, Yuugo-chan, you won't regret this. He tossed her a ring Deidara's. She caught it, slipping it on without hesitation. Naruto brushed past her, gesturing for her to follow. Together, they walked until they reached a pair of large iron doors. Naruto opened them, revealing a vast armory packed with gear. Pick what suits you, then meet me back at the balcony. Naruto left her to explore, and she did so eagerly. Minutes later, she found him again, gazing out into the rain like Nagato once did. I'm ready, she said. She now wore a fitted black combat top, cargo pants, sandals, a mesh shirt underneath, jounin gloves, and a standard utility belt. Her forehead protector was back in place. Good, now scratch it. Without hesitation, she removed the band, etched a line through the symbol and reattached it. Now your cloak. Naruto took off his and handed it to her. As she accepted it, she finally got a look at him underneath. Black combat wear, mesh undershirt, matching sandals with the signature white Akatsuki covers, a red crystal pendant, and all the tools of a seasoned shinobi. Why'd you give me yours, Naruto-kun? I'm getting another one custom-made right here in AIM, so now, you've got everything you need. Welcome to the Akatsuki, Yuugo-chan. Happy to be here, Naruto-kun. What? Why are you staring at me like that? Yuyugo chuckled softly, a sound she reserved only for those she trusted deeply. She leaned in, surprising Naruto. On instinct, he shifted back slightly. Please, Naruto-kun. It's been 2 years since I felt your lips on mine. I want this, just this once. Yuyugo, Naruto-kun, this time I'm the one asking. One kiss won't ruin your plans or end the world. Let me feel you again, your kiss, your touch, your love, even just for a moment. Yuyugo-cha, Naruto began, but Yuyugo moved in swiftly. Her lips crashed into his, catching him off guard. Once he snapped out of his surprise, he responded in full, deepening the kiss and gently biting her lower lip for entry. She eagerly allowed him in, moaning into the kiss as his tongue explored her mouth. He pinned her against the wall, shifting his focus to her neck. After placing several kisses, he bit down lightly, drawing a breathy moan from her. Her fingers tangled in his orange hair while his arm wrapped tightly around her waist, pulling her closer. Naruto tried to deny how much he wanted this, but it was pointless. Their lips met again, rougher this time, and her shameless moans echoed through the otherwise empty hall. At least, that's what they thought. Around the corner, Hinata stood frozen, her eyes wide with heartbreak. She had followed the voices, but arrived just in time to witness a moment she would never forget. Her tears fell freely as Yuyugo's moans grew louder. She dared to peek again, and what she saw shattered her. Their kiss had turned into something much deeper, Yuyugo pinned to the wall, Naruto holding her tightly as he lost himself in her embrace. Only one word slipped from Hinata's lips, a whisper lost to the hallway. No, a week and a half passed since that day. Naruto and Yuyugo, after some gentle pushing from her side, had decided to make their relationship official. The heartbreak had nearly broken Hinata. Learning it from Naruto himself had only made it worse. Her spirit dimmed, and she fell into a quiet depression, only slightly alleviated when Naruto declared that training would soon begin. The sting of rejection, however, still haunted her, a painful reminder that dreams don't come true on wishes alone. At present, the recruits were confined to their quarters. An emergency meeting had been called by Naruto. Every remaining Akatsuki member was present, Sasuke and his team included. They were gathered in the main chamber connected to the balcony, where Naruto usually held court. This time, he and Konan appeared via projection, using the Gentashin no Jutsu Phantom Lantern technique. This meeting concerns something important. I've decided to fully integrate Taka into the Akatsuki. All 4 will be granted full membership, Naruto's projection declared. HN, saw that coming. I don't speak for the others, but I'm in. This version of Akatsuki seems far more competent than the last, Sasuke said. If Sasuke-kun's in, so am I, Karin added. I'm game, could be fun, Suigetsu shrugged. I agree, Jugo said calmly. Then you'll receive your rings. Sasuke, you get attaches. Karin, you'll take Sasori's. Jugo, yours will be Kakuzu's. Suigetsu, you get hiddens. Team assignments are as follows. Sasuke with Kasame, Karin with Yuyugo, and Jugo and Suigetsu together. When do we start? Now. The Gokage Summit is about to begin in the Land of Iron. Konan and I are positioned nearby to make our intentions known. It's likely the other villages won't accept this reformed Akatsuki and might retaliate. Everyone stay on standby in case diplomacy fails. And the trainees, Kasame asked. They're to remain unaware of this. While I'm gone, Kasame, you're in charge. Understood. That's all. We'll soon see if this means war. Try not to screw it up, Dobi, Sasuke smirked. Try not to be a stick-in-the-mud team. Before Sasuke could fire back, the projections of Naruto and Konan vanished. Land of Iron. Simultaneously, the Akatsuki will be on edge. They know we're here, Naruto said as he stood from the Jutsu circle. Is this revenge, Naruto-sama? Konan asked. In part. Tsunade was once dear to me, but she leads a nation. Psychological pressure is necessary. Never hurts to rattle a few nerves. Exactly. Let's go, the cages won't wait. Naruto and Konan stepped from their hiding place and approached the summit doors, only to be intercepted by Kumo Anbu. Akatsuki, state your purpose or leave or we will respond with force, the squad captain warned. Deliver a message to Senjutsu-Tsunade, 5th Hokage of Konoha. Pain has arrived, Naruto said calmly. Then you're the leader. Yes. Now kindly deliver the message, we'll wait. Inside the summit hall, thanks, I said, dismissing the ANBU before turning to the other cage. This is unexpected. Our scouts report that 2 Akatsuki members, apparently their leader and second-in-command, are waiting outside with a message for you, Tsune Dono. For me. What message? They said, and I quote, "Pain has arrived." The name froze her blood. Tsunede's eyes widened and sweat ran down her temple. Pain, but Naruto defeated him unless. Tsune Dono, stay calm, Gaara said gently. If it's truly pain, he's either here to speak peace after his loss, or finish what he started. If it's the latter, he'll face all of us. And I'd like to meet the one who invaded my village before I smash his face in, I growled. Let them in, Gaara ordered the ANBU, who bowed and vanished. Pain, how is this possible? Don't worry, Tsune Dono, Anoki reassured. We'll protect you unless war breaks out. The doors opened. Everyone turned, especially Tsunade. Her heart stopped. In walked Naruto and Konan. That orange hair, the cold expression, the modified cloak resembling Nagato's Deva path, only longer at the collar. A scratched leaf forehead protector rested on his brow. Tsunade's mind was assaulted by memories. You will understand pain. I am God. Feel it, accept it, embrace it. Then she saw them, his whisker marks. Naruto. Why? She whispered, shocked to her core. The room was dead silent as Naruto took a seat. The summit had begun. So, I believe everyone here recognizes me. I am Uzumaki Naruto, once a genin of the Hidden Leaf. Now, I lead the Akatsuki under the title Pain. Alongside my right hand, Konan, I come before you today to discuss terms with the great shinobi nations. And why should we treat with known insurgents? I questioned coldly. Because since taking control of the Akatsuki, we have abandoned the hunt for the tailed beasts and their hosts. Our mission has changed, we now strive for lasting peace. Peace? Don't be absurd. There's never been peace, nor will there ever be, scoffed Anoki. Please, Anoki Dono, let Naruto Dono finish speaking, Mei interjected calmly. And why do you call him an equal, Mei Dono? He's a criminal. I growled. I judge based on actions, not old reputations. The former Akatsuki wronged many of us, including their current leader. I take it you're still the Ninetales host, Naruto Dono. After Naruto nodded, she continued. That tells us they're no longer targeting the tailed beasts. That alone lends weight to his words. He seeks harmony, not just among us but across the world. If this comes to a vote, my support is already decided. I'll back him as well. Naruto's saved my life, he's like family. Like Mei said, if we're voting, I stand with Akatsuki. Well, the Akatsuki did attack my brother, though they failed to extract the 8 tails thanks to a substitution jutsu, I started. That assault was ordered by the previous leader, Tobai. He's been dealt with, and I've officially revoked the mission to hunt the tailed beasts. My objective now is peaceful cooperation and support for this new vision. Naruto clarified. HN, if you stay true to your word, then I have no objections. I, however, cannot accept this. Uzumaki, or should I say Namikaze? Anoki sneered, earning confused glances and making Naruto lean back, fingers steepled in contemplation. Your father brought devastation to Iwagakure in the last war. I loathe him, and that hatred has extended to you, his son. I will never accept this Akatsuki nor this boy. Careful, Anoki, you're pushing your luck. I have no desire to shed blood here but dishonor my father again, and I will act. You thought he was dangerous. Then clearly, you've no idea what I'm capable of. Naruto warned, his voice low and eyes shadowed. Perhaps I've been too harsh. Given how weakened we are from the former Akatsuki's rampage, we may need new allies. And the son of Minato Namikaze would be a powerful one. I vote yes, Naruto Dono. And, what is your stance, Tsunade Dono? Naruto asked, eyes locking with his godmother's. Konoha, Tsunade began, her mind flashing back to the day pain reduced the village to rubble. Shinra Tensei, Konoha does not recognize this new Akatsuki. You cannot sway me. Real peace is a pipe dream. You're clearly lost, Naruto. Return with me to the village and I'll see that your charges are dropped. You need help. I can't do that, Tsunade Dono. I've been entrusted with a duty by forces far beyond your comprehension. This path, this dream, was once Jiraiya-sensei's. Jiraiya's dream, this is your twisted version of it. He longed for peace, yes, but not like this. He'd be horrified to see you leading the very group that ended his life and razed your village. You're betraying everything he hoped for. Please, Naru. Before she could finish, Naruto stood, hands slamming against the table, Rinnegan glowing with fury. You presume too much. You don't know what Jiraiya-sensei wanted, nor do you understand me. You flaunt wisdom, but you're blind. You pretend to understand sensei, but you never truly knew him. And you certainly don't understand me. Senjutsu Nate, you are the embodiment of misplaced pride. I regret ever helping bring you back to Konoha. If not for that, Sensei might still live. He would be Hokage, and you'd be sleeping at the bottom of Aim's waters. I curse you from the depths of my soul. As Naruto spoke, the air grew colder, his killing intent palpable. Tsunade wasn't looking at Naruto anymore. She saw the second coming of pain, his hatred tangible and overwhelming. Everyone else felt it too, save for Konan, who knew this storm was coming. Let's go, Konan. Our part here is over. To everyone except the Senju, I appreciate your support and hope we work well together. As for you, Tsunade, you will come to regret this day. With that, Naruto turned to leave, only to be halted by her voice. Stop, Uzumaki Naruto, by authority of the 5th Hokage, you are declared an S-rank rogue ninja. Leave here, and we add your name to the bingo book. Not we, Tsunade dono just you, Gaara said, standing. I Sabaku no Gaara, 5th Kazekage of the Sand, hereby end our alliance with Konoha. I instead form one with Uzumaki Naruto and the Hidden Rain, now recognized as the 6th Great Shinobi Nation. I second that. I pledge Kirigakure's allegiance to Naruto and his cause. Mei added, I agree, I said simply, and so do I, Anoki nodded. I object entirely, Tsunade snapped. Majority rules, Gaara replied. Naruto, the Rain Village is now acknowledged as the 6th Great Nation, and you, as its first Rain Shadow, hold a seat among us at this summit. I'm honored, Gaara dono, everyone. I accept this title and vow not to disappoint you. Naruto bowed gratefully. No, this lunacy ends now. Tsunade screamed, launching herself at Naruto. Konan saw the danger and acted instantly. Get down, she warned, as the others quickly took cover. Naruto raised a hand toward the charging Tsunade. She couldn't stop in time and prepared for a blow only to be shocked by what followed. Universal pull, Naruto roared, drawing her toward him at frightening speed. Then, using the momentum, he landed a powerful strike to her temple. The blow sent her hurtling into the wall, dazed and concussed. Two-Leaf Anbu, who had been hidden, leapt to attack but were halted by Gaara's sand. Don't make this worse. Your Hokage attacked another cage. Don't provoke war. Retrieve her and leave in disgrace, knowing this nearly became the next great war. Terrified by Gaara's presence, they gathered the injured Tsunade and vanished. This has been quite the gathering, I muttered. And worry not, Naruto dono, Anoki said. As much as I despised your father, I loathe Konoha more. Count Iwagakure among your allies now. Thank you, Lord Anoki, and all of you as well for your support. There may come a time when I'll call upon these bonds, and until that day, I swear on my new title as Aimkage that I will honor your trust. Naruto said, letting his Rinnegan fade. So, I suppose the summit is concluded, Mei asked. Yes, Gaara, please assist our new ally here, Anoki replied as he began to float away, followed by Ai and Mei, who gave Naruto a subtle wink as she exited. Did she just? Naruto muttered. Unfortunately, yes, Gaara responded, facepalming. That's just how Mei is. She's a visual distraction and she knows it, but don't underestimate her because of that. Not in the slightest. Still, I've got my own dangerous beauty, Naruto said, nodding toward Konan who stood leaning against the doorway. Mei's formidable, sure, but I have no doubts Konan surpasses her. Is that admiration I hear or something deeper? Shut up. By the sage Naruto, are you actually? I swear, Gaara. Finish that sentence and I'll make you regret it. So it is true then. Naruto sighed as Gaara smirked in victory and admitted the truth. Yeah, I do, I just feel guilty about it. Why's that? Because I'm with Yuugo. The same Yuugo who was in love with that swordmaster Baki-sensei killed during the invasion. That's the one. I thought what we had was real, but I see now, it was just proximity and comfort. Gaara, what should I do? Take it slow, the right moment will come for you to tell Konan. And as for Yuugo, be honest. Speak from the heart like you just did. She'll understand. And when did you become so wise in relationships? I've got an older sister and I finally took Matsuri out. And she's happy just being with me for now. Congrats. Thanks. Now shouldn't you be heading back to AIM? And shouldn't you be returning to Suna, Tache? Anything else I should know? Konoha's onto you. It's obvious. But with these new alliances, Tsunade's hand will be forced when she recovers. And with the Rinnegan under your control, better than pain, might I add, they'll tread lightly. Still, don't let your guard down. Understood, time to return. I need to share this with AIM and the Akatsuki. I get it. Gaara shook his hand and added, stay safe, Naruto. When am I not? Naruto smirked as he turned to leave, Conan right behind. Heh, that's what I was afraid you'd say. Outside the Iron Country 15 minutes later, they accepted us, well, most did, but AIM's officially a great shinobi nation now. Naruto cheered with a rare burst of joy. Even stoic Conan couldn't hide her true self when it came to Naruto. She let out a giggle, a real giggle, at his sudden shift from serious to ecstatic. This should speed things up, no? The Angel of Akatsuki asked. Absolutely. And now that AIM has that title, I think it's time I swapped my old Konoha headband for one from AIM. The rest of Akatsuki and any recruits not from here should too. You're the leader, Naruto-sama. It's your call. But I still want your advice, Conan. Your opinion means a lot to me. And here I thought I was here just because you liked how I looked. Oh well, she chuckled again at the sight of a blushing Naruto, her gaze soft and filled with something deeper. How had this boy stirred feelings she thought had died with Yahiko? Yahiko still held a part of her heart, but Naruto, there was something more. Something unique. She didn't know what it was yet, but she was content with not knowing. So long as she stayed by his side. Naruto, Conan said softly, drawing his full attention. Promise me you won't leave me, not like Yahiko or Nagato. Conan, please, I've sworn my life to 3 people. The first 2 are gone, I can't lose you too. Naruto stopped, placed his hands on her shoulders and spoke firmly. I swear on everything I won't fall, don't worry. I carry Nagato's dream, Yahiko's will, and the promise to protect you above all. Even if peace escapes me, I will shield you until my dying breath. You're more important to me than you realize. A world without you, that's a fate worse than death. Naruto, I won't lose you, ever. Thank you, Aimgakure. Akatsuki Tower moving cautiously, Yuyugo slipped deeper into the tower, the restricted zone meant only for Naruto and Conan. As she made her way in, she entered what had once been used for Nagato's paths, only to find something horrifying. The bodies of Kakashi and Yamato lay inside separate chambers labeled Deva and Animal. Their eyes bore the Rinnegan, their Konoha forehead protectors slashed, their bodies clad in Akatsuki robes, pierced with black chakra rods. In her shock, Yuyugo forgot one crucial detail, the shared vision of the Rinnegan. As she stepped into Kakashi's line of sight, Naruto was instantly alerted. With Naruto, what is it, Naruto-sama? Conan asked. Yuyugo, she's found Kakashi and Yamato. I knew she was too clean, she's a traitor. Yeah, and I'll handle her accordingly. With Yuyugo, Yamato suddenly formed hand seals faster than Yuyugo could react. Slamming his palm to the floor, he shouted, Summoning technique. Smoke exploded outward, and from it emerged Naruto. He seized Yuyugo by the throat, lifted her, and slammed her into the far wall. Conan, Yamato, and Kakashi flanked him. Why, after everything, I trusted you, he roared. You did, but your trust was misplaced, she gasped. You little, I actually believed in you. Shows what I get for trusting a Konoha operative willing to do anything, even use her body, for intel. Bullseye. Yuzuki Yuyugo, you'll make a fine path. Maybe the new Preta. You don't have the guts. A chakra rod driven into her heart ended her defiance. She died glaring, her expression unrepentant. Naruto snapped off most of the rod and turned away, preparing more. His last words to Conan before exiting, Call the Akatsuki. The gathering was swift, a briefing on the summit and Yuyugo's betrayal. Naruto asked who should take her place, and all members agreed. Mandu, who needed the least training. He was formally inducted and made head of recruit training. The gathering had been swift and efficient. After giving his orders, Naruto had dismissed everyone to their respective tasks. Now the head of Akatsuki sat alone, doing what had become routine, quietly listening to the rhythmic patter of rain on the rooftop. A subtle grin tugged at his lips, as though a theory he'd held had just been confirmed. Aimgakure front entrance simultaneously. Halt, shinobi of Konoha. Identify your purpose. A Jonin of Aimgakure demanded, eyeing the 3 visitors cautiously. Oddly enough, they seemed to be escorting a group with recording equipment. We're providing protection for this media crew. The assignment was commissioned by a client from the Land of Fire. They're here to conduct an interview with your leader, our comrade, Uzumaki Naruto, the newest figure among the cage, said the leading ninja. Our leader currently isn't receiving visitors from Konoha. So it's true he's going by pain now. I hoped that was just a rumor. You'll need to turn back. Entry will not be granted. At least let me speak with a member of the Akatsuki. Kasame-sama. From the outpost emerged the fearsome presence of Hoshigaki Kasame, trailed by none other than Uchiha Sasuke. Well, if it isn't the Leaf Trio. You lot didn't do too badly the last time we clashed. Kasame grinned darkly, glancing at Neji, Lee, and Tenten. Hoshigaki Kasame, our paths cross again under curious circumstances, Neji replied evenly. It's been a while, Neji. Last I heard you made Jonin. I'd congratulate you, but my allegiance no longer lies with Konoha. I stand with Akatsuki and with Naruto. Sasuke, I should have known you'd defect. And I should have guessed a Hyuga would remain a loyal dog, well, most of them anyway. Hinata-sama. Is she part of Akatsuki too? That's not for me to discuss, and not like I would. You should know by now, relations between Konoha and Aimgakure have soured, thanks to that wench you call Hokage. Watch your mouth when speaking of Tsunade-sama, traitor, Tenten snapped. I wonder if you'd say the same about Naruto, the so-called Dobi. He was the unofficial leader of the Konoha 12. In truth, none of us are traitors. We're loyal to Aimgakure now, the sixth powerhouse among shinobi nations. Settle down, Tenten. I see Sasuke wears an AIM forehead protector now. He's not lying. We're not here for conflict. Our mission is simple, escort this crew in and out of AIM. Will you allow us entry? Neji asked. You may pass, Neji, came Naruto's voice, though it emerged from Kakashi, who approached with Yamato and Yuugo. Kakashi, Yamato, Yuugo, you've all joined him, you're part of his paths now. Let's not delay, Neji. Only you are permitted to enter, the others and the crew must remain at the gate. Understood, Lee Tenten, you stay with the team. But Tenten began, I'll be fine, do as instructed. Akatsuki Tower moments later. Thanks for coming, Neji, Naruto said, facing his former teammate. Why the secrecy? Why meet me alone? Because your team's true goal is no secret to me. You're here under orders to gather intel. That whole media crew setup was far too obvious. Has Tsunade lost her edge? It's true, I didn't agree with it. I hate that Konoha's changed so much since the Pain conflict. You've adopted that name, and I think you had your reasons. I even believe you genuinely want peace. Then you want out, don't you? Exactly. I don't want to betray an old comrade, but I can't go back empty-handed either. I believe you. I didn't trust Yuugo at first, but my paths confirm your sincerity. So, that's why your paths stayed nearby. The Rinnegan shared site, smart. Indeed, and now would you like to become my human path? Doesn't that require death? Unfortunately, yes. But tell me, weren't the Hyuga branch members sworn to protect the main house? What's your point? Hinata died during sparring. It was an accident. She pushed herself too far, using all her chakra and denying it until the very end. She collapsed and died in my arms. Hinata-sama. I'm sorry, Neji. Then I failed Hayashi-sama. Naruto Mandu sent me. Hinata entered abruptly, then froze at the sight of her cousin. Nigsan, Hinata. Damn it, Hinata, step back, Naruto barked. Yuugo intercepted her and quickly led her away. You've truly sunk low, Naruto, Neji growled. This would have been easier, Neji. Easier. How? AIM and Akatsuki lack resources. We need power, wealth, land, and standing. Kyusa, Tani, and Ishii are collapsing economically and militarily. They'll submit to us today. We'll expand without lifting a finger. I orchestrated their downfall. Elevating AIM to major nation status will reshape the political map. We'll absorb those border nations and link our land with other great powers, cutting off middle grounds. And with your death, I gain a new path and Konoha loses a valuable scout. You bastard. Neji, you should know I'll do anything to reach peace. Even chaos has its place. Naruto turned his back, gazing out over his city. Neji lunged, trying to outmaneuver the reflexes of Naruto's paths. He failed. Chakra rods pierced his heart and lungs. Through the rain, Naruto chuckled. HMPH, farewell, Hyuga Neji. You played your role well. Shall I fetch the rest of the team, Naruto-sama? Konan inquired, stepping into the room. Yes, take Kakashi and Yamato with you. Understood. Aimgakure front gates concurrently. Kasame's eyes lit up as the news crackled over the comm. That signature-crazed grin split across his face, and he reached for Samehada. Your comrade won't be returning to the Leaf, and neither will you, he snarled. What happened to Neji? Tenten demanded, panic setting in. He tried to attack Naruto-sama. Not the brightest idea, doing that on enemy soil. Now under orders, you're being detained for espionage and conspiracy alongside a now-deceased agent. Neji, no. Lee, you seem calm. I'll ask. Will you yield peacefully, or shall we force you? Sasuke asked, hand inching toward his blade. We have no options, we're surrounded, we'll go without a fight. Wise decision. Konan, suspects secured, Kasame called. Excellent. Konoha, surrender all gear and weaponry. You're now prisoners of Aimgakure. Your village and the world will be informed. Where are you taking us? Lee asked. To Naruto-sama himself. Akatsuki Tower. 10 minutes later, stripped of all but their clothing, Lee and Tenten were escorted through the rain-drenched village. Locals lined the streets, voicing disdain at the captured Leaf Ninja. The shouting stopped as they entered the tower. From that point, the only sound was the rain and their footsteps echoing down the hall. Eventually, they stood before the balcony, where Naruto awaited, ever watchful. Lee, Tenten, our first meeting since the Pain assault, and you choose to commit such a cowardly act against a rising power struggling to find its place. Why? Naruto asked, eyes never leaving the horizon. We were under orders, Lee answered. And yet, orders are a choice. Tsunade gambled you wouldn't be discovered. As always, her bets fail. Your actions border on treason, and espionage brings grave consequences. Now I must decide, what shall I do with you? We were the ones caught, our fate lies in your hands, Aimkage-sama. Using my title instead of my name now, are you Lee? Very well. Conan, I have made my decision. What are your instructions? Conan asked. Send word to our allies explaining what Konoha has done and request their support if this escalates into war. Also, send a message to Konoha stating their spies were apprehended. One even attacked me and was killed. Demand reparations. The Tanzaku quarters, and all land to its west must be ceded to us in exchange for those spies. Understood. I'll deliver the messages immediately. Conan bowed and left. Naruto finally faced his two prisoners. I admit it pains me to use my former comrades as leverage, but such is the burden of a cage. I swear on my honor to return both of you to Konoha if they want you back. No harm will come to you while you're under my protection here, that I promise. You're too gracious, Aimkage-sama, Lee said. Lee, please. I'm still Naruto to you and Tenten. Kisame, take Lee to a suitable hotel, expenses covered. And what of the girl, Naruto-sama? Kisame inquired. I sense Tenten has something to say. Everyone else, leave so she and I may talk privately. At Naruto's command, the room emptied and Kisame led Lee out. Naruto gazed out his balcony again, giving Tenten space to speak. Why? Tenten asked. Neji attacked me, Tenchan. You should understand that my response was justified. Don't call me that, Naruto. We only dated for 3 days, we were testing the waters. Clearly it didn't work. Force of habit, sorry. But Neji attacked me so I defended myself. You can't blame me for that. But it was Neji your lover, I know, and something else you don't. What could that be? Tenten, my Rinnegan lets me see chakra like the Byakugan and Sharingan. Looking at you now I saw something. What? Tenten, you're expecting. What? You heard right, you're carrying Neji's child. I'm pregnant, but nothing escapes my eyes, Tenten. How far along am I? Judging by the chakra signature, at least 2.5 months. And I can tell you it's a daughter. A daughter, Neji, and I never planned for kids, but I guess he left me a parting gift. Tenten, consider this, do you think your daughter will have a better life in Konoha or here in Aim? What are you? Think about it. Neji belonged to the Hyuga branch house, so your daughter would be forced into it if raised in Konoha, taken from you because of her eyes. Here, she'll be raised by you and trained to master her doujutsu by Sasuke and me. If I stay, then Lee has to stay too. I'll see if Lee wants that. For now, welcome to Aimgakure. You may be a chunin in Konoha, but here, I'm promoting you to Aim Jounin if you accept. Hi, thank you, Naruto-sama. I'm still Naruto to you, Tenten. Sasuke, yes, Sasuke entered. Arrange a room for Tenten here in the tower and provide her with an aim hit at 8. Understood, Tenten, please follow me. Hi, Tenten stood and followed Sasuke, then paused. Naruto, truly, thank you for this. I want what's best for my daughter, and the moment you told me I was pregnant, I knew I couldn't hand her over to the Hyuga. Thank you for this chance. Then she left with Sasuke. You're welcome, Tenten, Naruto murmured, turning back to watch the rain. Konoha, 4 days later, Tsunade was furious. The 2 letters she held told the story. One outlined what had transpired and the reparations demanded. The other revealed that Lee and Tenten wished to stay in Aim, both made Aim Jounin, and that Tenten was pregnant and unwilling to have her child raised by the Hyuga. She had also received letters from Suna, Kiri, and Iwa urging her to comply with the reparations, saying they were fair given the captured spies. Can I not win against him? Tsunade shouted, throwing the letters on her desk and storming up. Shizune hurried in. Hi, Tsunade-sama. Send this message to Aimgakure. Konoha will submit the land specified in the reparations, Tanzakugai and all land west, in exchange for the return of the prisoners, including Lee and Tenten, if they want to come back. We're really going diplomatic with Naruto-kun. For now, yes. Also send a trade agreement with the land rights. At once, Shizune bowed and left. Damn, Konoha's looking worse by the day. Naruto, why are you doing this? Aimgakure. Same time, so, Ishii, Kyusa, and Tani have surrendered to us, and their lands have been absorbed into AIM. With Konoha likely agreeing to the reparations, we've tripled our territory. 3 hidden villages and a trade village under our control, we're on track to become a true great shinobi nation. Naruto addressed his 4 trusted Akatsuki members, Konan, Sasuke, Mandu, and Kasame. Our 2 new recruits have adapted well as AIM Jounin. Under your orders, they're monitored closely and no betrayal has been found by ANBU. Your Rinnegan checks confirm they're clean, Sasuke reported. I heard you and Sakura are now a thing, Sasuke. Even you can find someone. Says the one without a girlfriend. Says the one with a duck's hairstyle. Dobi, team, Naruto-sama, there's still the matter of the recruits' training, Konan reminded. I know it's going well. They're all at least A rank now. Not S rank, but improved. They could handle all but the strongest shinobi any nation sends, but they're not quite Akatsuki level yet, Mandu added. How did Hinata take the news that Neji attacked me? Naruto asked. She's shaken. I wouldn't let her see Neji as one of your paths anytime soon, Naruto-sama. Noted. Now get trade routes up and running, monitored by week's end. We need more income. Also, establish shinobi academies in Kyusa, Ishii, and Tani to grow our forces. And Taki needs an accident, like those in Kyusa, Ishii, and Tani. Can we arrange it? I'll send someone, Sasuke said. It's a miracle you inherited Adagakure from Orochimaru, Sasuke. Odo's been a useful tool. That's the only thing I'm grateful to Orochimaru for. We all have orders. Meeting dismissed. Konan announced as everyone except Naruto nodded and left. I love it when you take charge, Ko-chan, Naruto said, looking at the blue-haired angel beside him. Giggling, Konan said, you do well at it yourself, so I thought I'd try. I hope our date tonight is still on. It is, believe me. Knowing how we feel has relaxed me. But I don't want to rush things. I said I understood yesterday. I want to see how this goes too. Because of you, you go right. Hi, I learned my lesson. But for now, I have a job for you, Konan. What is it? Relax until tonight. Kasame will handle everything. You're sure? Absolutely. You've got the day off to do as you please. Thank you, Naruto. Later that evening, around 7:30 p.m., true to his word, Kasame efficiently managed everything, easing Naruto's burden. Konan vanished for the day, likely shopping and preparing for their date. Naruto stood before a mirror in his quarters in the tower, dressed in black pants, black shirt, black vest, red tie, black coat, and black shoes. Sasuke stood behind him, similarly dressed but with a white shirt, black tie, and no vest. Earlier, Sakura had asked if she and Sasuke could join Naruto and Konan, turning their date into a double date, which Naruto agreed to. Our Akatsuki leader exhaled nervously before facing Sasuke. Do you think she'll like what I picked out, Sasuke? Is it too flashy or maybe too plain? It looks perfect, Naruto. Stop overthinking it. Sorry, it's just, the last time I went on a real date was with Tenten. Konan is on a whole different level. Just be yourself. Konan respects you a lot, Naruto. Don't ruin that by trying too hard tonight. Thanks, Sasuke. You ready to head out? Yeah, let's do this. With that, the two set off toward Konan's room. With Konan and Sakura, Konan stood before a mirror, taking in her reflection. She wore a black strapless dress with a slit down the right leg, black heels, and a deep blue corset over the dress that highlighted her ample curves, paired with a silver necklace, bracelet on her right wrist, and matching earrings. Sakura was dressed in a black backless dress that ended just below her knees, black heels, long black gloves reaching mid-forearm, and gold jewelry. Like Naruto, Konan was feeling nervous. Konan, you're tense, relax a bit, Sakura said as she finished fixing her hair. Do you think he'll like how I look, Sakura? You've known Naruto forever and he calls you his Imato little sister. What do you think he'll think of me? Knowing Naruto, he'll be amazed. Trust me, Konan, you look great. And besides, Naruto doesn't judge people just by how they look. Thanks, Sakura. Anytime. There was a knock at the door. They're here. Sakura opened it to reveal Naruto and Sasuke standing there. Sasuke-kun, Naruto-kun, wow, you both look sharp. You look great too, Sakura-chan, Sasuke said, Is Conan ready? Naruto asked. Yeah, Conan, come on. At Sakura's invitation, Conan stepped out. Naruto was stunned, and even Sasuke was visibly impressed by her beauty. KK Conan, you look absolutely gorgeous, Naruto stammered. Thank you, Naruto, Conan replied quietly, in a shy tone reminiscent of Hinata, causing Sasuke and Sakura to chuckle at the irony involving their second-in-command. Shall we? Sakura suggested. Yes, let's, Naruto said, offering his arm to Conan, who took it immediately. Sakura took Sasuke's arm and the four headed out. Fate had granted them a rare break in the rain, and the night sky over AIM was clear, enhancing the mood for everyone. Stars sparkled and a full moon shone brightly, pleasing Conan. She smiled and clutched Naruto's arm tighter, resting her head on his right shoulder, causing Sasuke and Sakura to exchange knowing looks. It's been so long since the rain stopped. I haven't seen the sky like this in ages, Conan said, reluctant to leave Naruto's warmth. Maybe it's a good omen, Sasuke remarked. I hope so, Sakura added. It is. We'll succeed in our mission. But tonight isn't about Akatsuki business, it's about us, Naruto said, making them all smile, revealing a side of pain few got to see. Arriving at the restaurant they had picked, Naruto and Conan took the lead. Recognizing Naruto, the manager welcomed them without charge and seated them in a booth at the far end of the room. While waiting for their food, the group engaged in light conversation. So Conan, I have to admit, I don't know as much about you as I should, Sakura said. I was born and raised here in AIM. My parents died during the Second Great World War. Afterward, I met Yahiko and Nagato. We formed a small group and supported each other. About a month later, we encountered the Sannin during their fight with Hanzo. After witnessing that legendary battle, we confronted them, and one stayed behind to help us Jiraiya. He helped us survive but refused to teach us ninjutsu until we discovered Nagato had the Rinnegan. How did you find out? An Iwagakure Chunin attacked Yahiko and tried to kill him, but in rage, Nagato used his Rinnegan and killed the attacker. After that, Jiraiya-sensei taught us everything about being shinobi. After he left, Yahiko shared his dream of peace for AIM, which attracted others to his cause. That was the beginning of the original Akatsuki. Yahiko led us faithfully until the day Conan reached out and took Naruto's hand, which he squeezed gently. Until Yahiko died. You don't have to say more. Naruto told me how Yahiko died, so I already know. What about your Shikigami no my dance of the paper spirits? Sasuke asked. That came from my origami skills. I realized I could use my paper folding to enhance my ninjutsu. Plus, it keeps me young since I can essentially turn into paper. How young are we talking? My human age would be early 30s, but I'm actually just 17. That's the benefit of my particular talent. Even I didn't know that, Naruto admitted, because I never told you. I wasn't sure how you'd take it, knowing I'm younger than I appear. Hey, I'm not complaining. 3 years ago, that's all you did, Sasuke teased. Shut up, you idiot. Dummy. Oh no, here we go again, Sakura sighed, making Conan smile at their banter. Soon their food arrived and they began eating. They enjoyed their meal while chatting. Eventually, it was time to part ways, because let's face it, what happens after dinner dates is better done in pairs. Sasuke and Sakura walked toward the walls around AIM, while Naruto and Conan chose to spend the rest of the evening wandering the town. Their night ended with them on a boat just offshore. Thankfully, the waters were calm without a single wave. Naruto lay on the boat's floor with Conan resting on his chest, her head just below his chin, both gazing at the clear night sky. It was peaceful, simply being in each other's arms. Suddenly, Conan realized what Naruto had that Yahiko never did. He genuinely cared for her. Yahiko cared too, but put the Akatsuki before her. Naruto would abandon everything if it meant being with her. She felt one overwhelming emotion. Happiness. She was grateful Naruto would give up even his dream of peace just for her. As much as she wanted to remember Yahiko, he was gone, and she had someone here now. Someone who had been betrayed, hurt, and abandoned. But she wanted to show him what true love was. Naruto-kun, Conan whispered, receiving a low hem from Naruto, signaling he was almost asleep. I have an answer for you. Shaking off the drowsiness, Naruto lifted Conan up so they could look into each other's eyes. Cerulean blue met amber, and both blushed, recognizing the love they shared. Naruto already knew her answer before she spoke. I love you so much, Uzumaki Naruto. My answer is yes, I want to be with you, I want to spend my life with you. You said exactly what I was thinking. Naruto leaned in, and Conan did the same. Both held their breath, then their lips met in a kiss that sparked electricity between them. It started gentle and tender, but as it deepened, Conan grew more passionate, and Naruto welcomed the challenge. He gently bit her lower lip, and she parted her mouth, inviting him in. Their tongues tangled in a fierce dance for control, but Naruto won, until Conan pushed him back, straddling him, continuing their heated kiss. Naruto's hands explored her back, undoing her corset, and Conan agreed. It was getting too hot for their clothes. He removed the corset, and she slipped off his jacket and vest, then returned to their kiss. Naruto's hands roamed her body, making Conan moan softly each time he found the right spot. Eventually, his hands settled on her hips. They were both a mess now, but didn't care. Naruto gave her a firm squeeze, causing Conan to moan lowly. She broke the kiss for a moment to catch her breath. Damn Ko-chan, you're wild. Even Yahiko couldn't handle me. I think I can do better. You already are. Naruto had let Conan enjoy her moment of control, but soon enough he reversed their positions, and he couldn't help but adore the expression on his new girlfriend's face, a blend of surprise and thrill. Conan grasped Naruto's tie and pulled him into another passionate kiss. As they kissed, she worked to loosen his tie and undo his shirt, prompting Naruto to cup her right breast with his right hand, while abandoning her lips to trail kisses along her neck. He felt himself losing control, driven wild by Conan's soft moans as he fervently nipped at her neck before returning to her lips. She wrapped her arms around his neck, fingers threading through his vibrant orange hair, and didn't protest when the top of her dress slipped down, revealing her breasts to the cool AIM night. Naruto took a moment to appreciate just how stunning Conan looked right now. There she was beneath him, allowing him free rein, hair tousled, her 34Ds bared to the open air, cheeks flushed deeply. To Naruto, she was the very embodiment of an angel, and he was grateful she was his from this night onward. Perfect, Naruto murmured before Conan once again flipped their positions, just as he had. That night, if anyone had passed nearby, they would have heard the unabashed moans of the tenshi, the unmistakable sound of skin striking skin, Conan's cries of pleasure, and above all, Naruto-kun tilde, Conan shouted ecstatically as she climaxed and collapsed atop her lover and leader. Naruto pulled back, grabbed the blanket stored in their boat, and covered their naked bodies. He hugged Conan tightly, as if afraid to lose her, and she sensed this closeness. Naruto-kun, others might have abandoned and betrayed you, but I will stay at your side. What we shared tonight marks me as yours and yours alone. Even if the Akatsuki falls, I'll remain your second in command and your lover. I love you, Naruto-kun. And I love you, Ko-chan. With these words spoken, the two lovers fell asleep moments later, cradled in each other's arms, content smiles gracing their faces, especially Conan's. Both knew they had found true love and would be damned if anything tore them apart. Uzumaki, Naruto, and Conan, the god and his angel, slept peacefully beneath the starry sky, without a single worry, just as they desired. One thought dominated his mind: victory. That thought always lingered, and this battle was no different. Sasuke swiftly brought down his Kusanagi sword, and his opponent made the move he anticipated. The enemy tried to block the blade with a kunai, causing Sasuke's sword to phase through the weapon. The opponent, quick to react, dodged the swipe but was knocked away by Sasuke's kick to the head. Stabbing his Kusanagi into the earth, Sasuke quickly formed 7 hand seals, landing on the tiger seal. Katen, Gaokakyu no Jutsu. Fire release. Great fireball technique, he thought, unleashing a massive fireball toward his foe. The opponent formed 5 hand seals, and countered by expelling a line of water that erupted into a towering wall. Suijinheki, water encampment wall, a solid counter. Sasuke commented, withdrawing several shuriken tied to nearly invisible steel wires. He threw them skillfully, aiming some to strike his opponent, to keep the enemy unaware of his plan. As expected, the foe blocked the shuriken and let them fall to the ground, seemingly harmless, but they were far from it. Sasuke quickly formed 4 more hand seals, again landing on the tiger seal. Katen, Ryuka no Jutsu. Fire release, dragon fire technique. The wires ignited with his fire chakra and immediately engulfed his opponent. Sasuke thought he had won, but then the flames began to spiral downward into a single point where a sphere of blue chakra had been. In his haste, he'd forgotten about the Rasengan, effectively upgrading his opponent's technique for free. The enemy surged forward at a speed matching Lee without weights, leaving Sasuke no time to dodge. His Manjikaiwu Sharingan activated, summoning Susanoo. The Uchiha hoped his base Susanoo would withstand the enhanced S-rank jutsu, leaving his fate to the gods. An explosion erupted, and Sasuke stood with a hole burned through his Susanoo, his opponent's right hand poised just over his heart. It was a brief moment, but clear. His foe had replaced the flames with boil release. Yes, boil release. It had burned through his Susanoo. The ultimate Uchiha defense melted like butter. Sasuke couldn't believe it. A soft giggle pulled him from his thoughts as he faced his opponent, also his girlfriend. Sakura had just won possibly the greatest battle of her life, against the Uchiha prodigy himself. Well, looks like Naruto was right to bring you along. Sakura-chan, you've earned your place in the Akatsuki. So, which new ring will I get? Naruto gave me this one, which ironically suits you perfectly. The ring Sakura received from Sasuke brought a smile for two reasons. One, it was the final token needed to officially join Akatsuki. And two, she recalled a day when, still a Konoha shinobi, she had dragged Naruto shopping and eyed a ring she couldn't afford. Apparently, Naruto remembered and ordered a ring that fit her perfectly. The kanji on the band read, Sakura. She would have thanked him, but then she saw Sasuke kneel on one knee, and instantly understood. Naruto told me about that day you wanted a ring like this but couldn't get it. Honestly, he helped me get this, cost us quite a bit, but it was worth it. Haruno Sakura, will you marry me? Saw Sasuke-kun, yes. As Sasuke rose, he was met with one of the most passionate kisses he'd ever received from Sakura, which he returned in kind. They were truly happier than ever. But the contrast was clear as Naruto stood overlooking his village, as usual. You're telling me there's another stage to the Rinnegan? How is this possible? The blonde Cage asked no one in particular. Yes. That detail slipped my mind during our last talk. My apologies, said the spirit standing behind him. The great Rikido Sennin forgot about his own eyes, not something you hear every day, but seriously, what must I do to unlock the final stage of the Rinnegan? The Kamishiny Rinnegan, God-killing Samsara Eye, was my personal variation. I named it Kamishiny because when I faced the Jubai, only my eyes allowed me to stand on equal footing. As for unlocking it, Naruto, you won't like it. Like the Mangekyou. Killing or feeling the death of a loved one. No, you must kill or experience the death of a family member. Considering I have no living blood relatives besides Karin and Tsunade, and no bond with either, looks like Kamishiny Rinnegan is beyond me. You'd actually do it. Of course not. The Mangekyou's cost was barbaric. Why would I accept more? Good point, though you've done well so far. You've made the world take notice and Konoha's undecided. Plus, you've formed a sixth nation. Not bad for just 4 months. I carry your will, also the will of my late godfather. This task falls to me and I will see it done. At any cost? Yes, at any cost. Then you have conviction, very good. My chakra is low now. Let me return to your body to replenish. Of course. The first sage placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder, merging back into his body just as Konan entered. Naruto-kun, the envoys from Suna and Konoha have arrived to discuss this year's Chunin exams, the Angel of Akatsuki said. Send them in. Konan nodded and left. Minutes later, the Konoha and Suna delegates entered. Long time no see, Shikamaru, Naruto greeted his guests. It has been. I see you've kept your village running smoothly, Shikamaru replied, shaking Naruto's hand. I wouldn't be a good Cage otherwise. How are you, Temari? As well as can be expected, given paperwork greeted me this morning, and now negotiations for the Chunin exams. Paperwork is a pain. Now let's begin. Yes, Tsunade-sama proposed holding this year's Chunin exams here in AIM, Shikamaru said. Gaara has also proposed that idea. The envoys from Kiri, Kumo, and Iwa agree with it as well. So Naruto, will you accept this? Temari inquired. Yes, I accept. I must admit, it would be an honor to host the Chunin exams in my nation. Then we'll need to arrange the necessary accommodations for the nations taking part. Which nations are involved? As it stands now. Konoha, Suna, Iwa, Kumo, Kiri, Odo, and of course AIM. Shikamaru responded. I'll see to it that our best hotels are ready for the event. By the way, what's the schedule? At least a few more months, given all the paperwork the other cages have to handle, plus the extra strain on Tsunade-sama after the recent spy incident. Naruto growled softly, then turned to Temari. Please allow us some privacy. Temari hesitated, exchanged a glance with Shikamaru, and then stepped outside. Once the room was clear, Naruto exhaled deeply and turned back toward the village. Do you understand what it's like to have the lives of 1,000 people hinge on your decisions, Shikamaru? I can't say I do, explain it to me. Most see it as power, the power to rule men, to wage war, to shape the land itself. But that's not true power. What is, then? Naruto closed his eyes and smirked just as the rain grew heavier. Turning around, the sharp blue eyes Shikamaru had been looking into were now replaced by the distinctive ripple pattern of the Rinnegan. At that moment, a lightning bolt struck behind Naruto, illuminating him and revealing his smirk alongside the Rinnegan, with an unusual black center and white pupils. At the sight, Shikamaru was, for one of the very few times, genuinely and utterly terrified. A deep sense of hopelessness, insignificance, and pain washed over him. The real power, Shikamaru, lies in the illusion of having power. The illusion? Exactly. The cages and even the daimyos believe they wield power. Their strength comes from two things. One, being elected by the village's jounin and recommended by their daimyo. Two, the teachings of the Rikyu Sennin. Without him and Ninshu, chakra would never have been discovered, and the shinobi wouldn't exist as they do today. I'm aware of all that, what's your point? My point is this, Shikamaru. We are only what Kami wills us to be. That's why I say the illusion of power is the real power, because I am Kami, I am order, I am truth, I am pain. Stop with the drugs, Naruto. They're messing with your head. Heh, you don't believe me, not even a little. Then kneel. I won't, not to you or what? Shikamaru found himself kneeling against his will. First one knee, then both, until his forehead nearly touched the floor. As you see, Shikamaru, I control everything. I am the second sage of the six paths, a god incarnate. What I desire becomes reality. Naruto waved his hand over the AIM skyline, and within moments, the rain ceased, the clouds parted, and sunlight broke through. Why tell me this? So you can return and tell Senju Tsunade that the Chunin exams won't ease tensions between us and Konoha, that I won't tolerate any further spying, and that she's made an enemy of Kami, an enemy she will soon regret. War? No. Suffering, total and utter suffering. Senju Tsunade will come to no pain, except pain, feel it, and only then will she be remotely my equal. Until that day, she's like the Tobai I knew, arrogant, deluded, idealistic and pathetic. Until she understands true pain, I will feel nothing but contempt for her. You have fallen far, Naruto. That's what Neji said before he tried to kill me. Don't make his mistake, Shikamaru. You're one of my oldest friends. I wish you no harm. Then why? Why did I make you kneel? So you could feel the power I command. Honestly, would you want to face someone on the battlefield who can do this to you? Honestly, no, I get your point. Now can you let me up? Of course. Freed from the heavy pressure, Shikamaru stood and faced Naruto, who turned once again to gaze over AIM just as the rain started again. You've said enough, Shikamaru. Go report back to Senju. And tell her everything that happened here. Every detail exactly as I said. Why yes, Naruto, despite all that's happened here and before, remember, I'm still your friend. I feel the same, Shikamaru, now please, I want to be alone. Tell Konan that as well. Yes, goodbye, Naruto. Once Shikamaru left, the spirit of the Rikyu Sennin emerged from Naruto's body, folding his arms and staring out over AIM. I didn't realize you had this side, Naruto said. Yes, it took more chakra than I expected, but the possession succeeded. I think that Nara boy got the message, and so will that Senju woman once he returns. The possession used your chakra because you forced your will through what I assume was a toned-down version of the Kamishiny Rinnegan. Exactly. I summoned enough chakra to bring back my Kamishiny Rinnegan and use it temporarily through you. You've just demonstrated two of its powers. The ability to impose my will on others and control everything within a certain radius. Both correct. When you eventually obtain the Kamishiny Rinnegan, I'm sure you'll master it better than I did. But people saw you as a god, and now you will be my second coming, a god on earth, like I once was. You'll make anything you imagine happen with just your eyes. You will be Kami, Naruto, and that's what it will take to change this world. And how do you know all this? I am a god, Naruto. True. Throughout this exchange, and Naruto's talk with Shikamaru, Hinata sat on the roof's balcony, eavesdropping on Naruto's private meeting. What she heard shocked her. The original Rikyu Sennin living as a spirit, using Naruto as a vessel, possessing him at will. Neji's last words suddenly felt incomplete to her. Something was missing. Then, so how's Neji working as one of your paths? The sage asked. Surprisingly well. His body initially resisted my control, but I eventually made it accept my chakra. Even in death, Neji fought back typical Hyuga strength. He died doing what he thought was right. And his version of right was trying to kill me. You told him Hinata was dead, only for her to walk in at the worst moment. Naturally, he'd be angry enough to attack you. That was it. Hinata had finally uncovered the truth at its source, and she was far from happy. Rising slowly from her crouch, she peered at Naruto's position with her Byakugan. She had one chance to end this. And could she do it? Absolutely. She leapt off the balcony, twisting so her first two fingers aimed right between Naruto's eyes. But as Naruto entered her sight, she was startled to see his right hand pointed at her, and then she heard the words she never wanted to hear again. Shinra Tensei. The Shinra Tensei Naruto unleashed hit Hinata like the force of 300 Tsunade-level punches, smashing her chest. Most of her ribs cracked, a lung collapsed, and internal injuries piled up. It was the first time Naruto had used Shinra Tensei since gaining the Rinnegan. She was sent hurtling backward, but then drawn back toward Naruto by Bansho Tenin. Ending in a tight chokehold, Hinata dangled high above the ground as Naruto walked to the edge of the overhanging statue. Having been alerted by the booming force of Naruto's Shinra Tensei, the entire Akatsuki appeared simultaneously, all gathered inside the building, while Naruto and Hinata stood alone outside beneath the falling rain. Naruto's gaze cut sharply through Hinata, who was moments from collapsing, but instantly regained strength from the intensity in his eyes. So, another one has turned against us. And this betrayal will end just as the last did, Naruto said with a voice brimming with unwavering authority and power. Go ahead, do it, Hinata gasped, struggling to speak. Growling similarly to how he did at Shikamaru, Naruto glanced at Sakura, who shook her head, then at Konan, who gave a subtle nod. He then looked to Sasuke, who unexpectedly shook his head. Refocusing on Hinata, Naruto declared, "No, there has already been enough bloodshed. Hyuga Hinata, I hereby strip you of your chakra and sentence you to life imprisonment at Hazukijo Demon Lantern Castle, the Blood Prison." Without ceremony, Naruto threw Hinata back inside the Akatsuki Tower, where Sasuke was performing several hand signs, the same sequence Naruto was mimicking. Kisame stepped forward, grabbed Hinata by the collar, slammed her chest into the wall, then turned her around and slashed the front of her shirt with a kunai, revealing her toned, flat abdomen. Holding her upright, Kisame smiled wickedly as Sasuke approached and placed his left hand on her stomach and right hand on her head. Naruto followed, placing his right hand over her heart and left on her head, mirroring Sasuke's actions. Hinata's Byakugan activated involuntarily. Sasuke's Sharingan flared in his eyes, and Naruto's Rinnegan glowed a faint gray as pure chakra surrounded the three Daojutsu users. Gradually, Hinata's chakra cloak began to fade until only a small wisp remained, centered on her heart. Only a few Akatsuki members recognized what was happening, but those who didn't heard Naruto and Sasuke shout in unison. Fuinjutsu Densetsu no Chakra Fuin. Sealing technique, legendary chakra seal. The final trace of chakra vanished from Hinata's body, and with it her Byakugan. Once the process finished, Naruto and Sasuke withdrew their hands and Kisame let Hinata's limp body fall. The white and purple chakra auras surrounding Naruto and Sasuke disappeared as they cut off chakra flow to their eyes, no longer needing their Daojutsu in Hinata's presence. What just happened? Sakura asked. They just drained all of Hinata's chakra. She's no longer a shinobi, Suijutsu replied casually. All of her chakra. How is that possible? The legendary chakra seal is a terrifying fuinjutsu that not only seals a target's chakra, it completely extracts it and distributes it evenly between the casters. Usually, it requires 2 or more users to reach full effect. But here's the real kicker. Whether the target survives or not, there's no way they can ever reclaim their chakra. Because their chakra has become part of the casters. In this case, Naruto and Sasuke now possess Hinata's chakra within themselves. Correction. It's no longer Hinata's chakra. It is merged with Naruto and Sasuke's. And as I said, Hinata cannot, under any circumstances, regain her chakra. Why not? Because this is one of the rare jutsu that permanently removes chakra. You saw the hand signs Naruto and Sasuke made, right? After Sakura nodded, Suijutsu continued, they weren't just feeling her out, they targeted her Karakuke chakra pathway system directly. The chakra they stole was leached straight from its source. In other words, her chakra pathway system has been completely drained. To put it simply, yes, Her Karakuke is like a plant starved of water, dry, shriveled, and dead. Even if someone tried to inject chakra directly, it wouldn't help. Because her Karakuke is beyond recovery, Sasuke finished. Exactly. When do we send this Hyuga traitor to Hazuki-jo Naruto? Our Uchiha asked, turning toward their leader. Immediately, Suijutsu Jugo oversee the transfer, Naruto ordered, receiving quick highs from both. Jugo lifted Hinata's lifeless form and headed for the exit. Such a damn shame. She wasn't that bad looking, Suijutsu commented, trailing behind. Everyone else, return to your posts. Complete your shifts, Naruto commanded, and all the Akatsuki except Konan vanished. Hinata was one of my closest friends. Konan, doing that tore me apart inside. You've told me how close you two became. Naruto-kun, remember this was necessary for the world's greater good. I know, but it's still hard to betray former friends like that. But with the last traitor dealt with, there's one less burden. I understand. But now I must unite the world. You will, Naruto-kun. Naruto wrapped his arms around Konan's waist. I know, with an angel by my side, how could I lose? And with Kami watching over us, victory is assured. Naruto chuckled softly at his girlfriend's words and pulled her in for a kiss, which she eagerly returned. Iwagakure. Anoki's office. Midnight, Anoki floated slowly in his office, lost in thought. This alliance with AIM is purely for appearances, and I'm sure Naruto knows it. But what if I break it and he follows through on his threat? No, he wouldn't. Then Konoha and the other shinobi nations would declare war since he'd be the aggressor. Naruto's too clever for that. Still, I must find a way to dissolve this pact without severe fallout. The aged Kage pondered silently until, My, do you often ponder like this, Anoki-san? A sharp voice called from a corner. Who's there? An interested party, Anoki-san. I know how much of a thorn AIM and that Uzumaki brat are in your side. I've come to offer you a way out of your dilemma. And who might you be? A man cloaked in maroon with circular glasses stepped from the shadows, causing Anoki to blink in surprise. You may call me Yakushi Kabuto. Tetsu no Kuni. 3 months later, by now, Naruto was furious. The news that Kabuto had handed over an entire Edo Tensei army to Anoki 3 months ago had alarmed all the Kages. But Naruto took it the worst, given his goals. Sitting beside Gaara and Mei at the latest Kage summit, he struggled to remain silent through Anoki's excuses. Is it not understandable for a hidden village to increase their power, whatever the cost? Gaara Dono, would you have refused such an offer? Or Yutsune Dono, Anoki argued, trying to justify himself. No, Anoki Dono, using the dead as your army is unforgivable, regardless of any advantage, Gaara responded. And you consorting with a wanted nuke nin hardly helps your case, Anoki Dono, I added. Plus, that nuke nin is listed in all our bingo books. I'd say Anoki Dono is too lenient with society's undesirables, Naruto finally said. Oh, the irony in your words, Naruto Dono, Anoki replied, forcing the proper honorific. Make no mistake, the Akatsuki were once made of rogue nin from all over the world, but no longer. Shall I remind you of my mission? Then what's the difference between allowing the Akatsuki to operate and you doing this? The difference, Anoki Dono, is that Naruto Dono has reformed the Akatsuki and now strives for peace. You, however, have empowered Iwa with no thought of consequences, using our own dead against us. It seems your concern lies only with Iwa's interests, not the world's, Mei declared. I call for a vote. Should Anoki Dono disband his Edo Tensei army and hand over Yakushi Kabuto for punishment? Naruto asked the gathered Kages. I, Gaara said. I, Mei said. Yes, Naruto affirmed. I said. Nay, Tsunade said, surprising everyone and infuriating Naruto. Why Tsunade Dono? Gaara asked, leaning back. Because I agree with Anoki. There is no difference between Naruto's actions with the Akatsuki and Anoki's with Kabuto. I, for one, have no undead army, Naruto defended. You command 4 undead bodies as your paths, all from Konoha. Those 4 alone are an army. And I would have added Hinata to my paths if I hadn't been merciful. That's another matter. Hayashi wants your head, Naruto, for what you did to Neji and Hinata. They both attempted to eliminate me, and I responded accordingly. Let me remind you, Neji was acting under your command to spy on AIM Senju. And he struck me as a Konoha shinobi. Rightfully, I could have declared war right then, but once again I showed mercy. My actions are fully justified, Senju. If punishment is due, it should fall on both you and Anoki. Regardless, the majority's decision stands. Anoki, you are ordered to disband your Edo Tensei army and surrender Yakushi Kabuto. Well, well, you really want me dead, don't you, Naruto-kun? The twisted voice of Kabuto echoed as he casually entered and stood behind Anoki to his right. I believe you already know my stance, Namikaze. I refuse, and today I break our alliance with AIM. Anoki declared with a sly grin. Sorry, Naruto, but I stand with Anoki on this matter. Tsunade said firmly. Naruto looked from Anoki to Tsunade, then finally to Gaara. Taking a deep breath, he saw Gaara slowly nod in agreement. Turning to Mei, she nodded as well. Releasing his breath, Naruto said, All right, it seems talks have utterly failed. Anoki, you refuse to accept the majority's decision, and Senju, you side with the warmonger. My message is clear. If you want war, I'll give you one. A war so fierce you won't believe it. I will strike both of you with a righteous fury so powerful even Kami herself can't stop me. Then bring it on, Namikaze. I'm ready to settle this once and for all. Gaara, Terumi, I will handle you both too. I do not fear this war, I am prepared, Anoki said boldly. You'll have to contend with Kumo as well, Anoki. Kumo has now allied with AIM and will stand with them in this conflict. I said, standing beside Naruto. I think this meeting is over. Anoki, Senju will be seeing each other very soon. Count on that. Naruto, the blonde Akatsuki leader, said as he turned to leave, flanked by Sasuke and Sakura. I'm sure Zetsu heard all of that, Naruto-kun. Sakura remarked. I know he did. He's already relayed the info to Kasame, who is mobilizing the army now. Naruto replied, eyes fixed ahead. Please tell me our first target is Konoha, Sasuke said. It is, Sasuke. Konoha tops my list. Good, I still have a few people there who need to pay for what they did to Itachi. You will have your revenge. Now both of you stay close. With hands on Naruto's shoulders, Sasuke and Sakura braced themselves as Naruto activated a Jikuken ninjutsu, space-time technique, whisking them back to Akatsuki Tower in a flash. What the hell, Sakura began. Hurashin no Jutsu, my father's legacy. And that, combined with the Rinnegan, Naruto-kun, you're dangerous. I'm painfully aware, but I must be dangerous for my mission to succeed. With Anoki and Tsunade. Outside Tetsu's border, don't worry, Tsunade. My Edo Tensei army will lead us to victory over the Namikaze brat. Anoki said as he hovered near Tsunade. Uzumaki, he never took Minato's name. Tsunade said sorrowfully. Regardless, Uzumaki, Namikaze, he'll only know defeat in this war. Don't be too sure, Anoki. Naruto has done incredible things even without the Rinnegan. Don't show doubt to your shinobi, Tsunade. They need a leader with conviction. Whatever Naruto was to you before the Rinnegan, that part is dead. He is the second pain now. I know, but damn it, I miss my godson. She turned away to hide her tears, only to collide with Gaara. Excuse me, Tsunade, Gaara said firmly, continuing his path. Hi, sorry, Gaara. He stopped and faced Tsunade fully, his gaze chilling her to the bone. No, you're not sorry, not yet. You weren't sorry when you sent a team to spy on Naruto, including one who tried to kill him. You weren't sorry when you put him on your bingo book, despite him being the former Aimkage. And you weren't sorry when you opposed him just now. Don't pretend you are when you don't mean it. Naruto is like a brother to me, and I will follow him to hell and back. Yet you, his godmother, seem content to make things harder for him while he tries to make this world better. You put Konoha's interests above the world's, yourself above Naruto, and you risk dooming us to an endless cycle of hatred. No, silence. Those two words, followed by a surge of killing intent, stunned Tsunade and Anoki. But what came next? You have not seen the world as Naruto and I have. You never had to fight daily just to survive. You were born into the Senju clan, had a life, a family. I had a family too, but they despised me. My own father ordered my death, and I killed my uncle because of their hatred. Naruto had no one. Every day he was beaten, spat upon, called vile names for what he carries inside, what he still carries. You don't know what it means to be hated for what's beyond your control. I despise you, Tsunade. Since the day we voted Naruto and AIM into the Shinobi Nations, you've shown yourself as nothing more than an opportunist who will ruin this world if unchecked. Like Naruto said, we will see each other soon, count on it. With that, Gaara turned and walked away, leaving Tsunade feeling worse than before. Don't let that boy's words shake you, Tsunade. He's as ignorant as Naruto, if not more. We will win this war and our two nations will prosper. No, Anoki, you know as well as I do Naruto can't be beat. I'll believe it when his blade is at my throat. Now come, we have a war to win. 3 days later. Aimgakure before Naruto and Gaara stood their combined forces, about 50,000 strong, 30,000 under Naruto and 20,000 under Gaara. Sasuke and Sakura flanked Naruto, while Kankuro and Temari flanked Gaara. Temari's conflicted expression was clear, and Naruto sighed, understanding why. Temari, steel yourself for what must be done. Shikamaru is now our enemy and must be treated as such. When we reach Konoha, he'll likely sacrifice himself for the village and Tsunade. You must be ready. He's right, Temari. If Shikamaru doesn't join us or surrender, he's a threat. Gaara added. I know, but it's not easy, Temari finally said after a moment's thought. Gaara was about to question her, but Naruto interrupted. Say no more, Temari. I know you and Shikamaru were close, but that time has passed. We're at war now, going after Konoha. You must suppress these feelings and harden yourself. I will try, Naruto. Good, we need you focused on this. By the way, this is quite the force we have, Naruto, Gaara remarked. Indeed, Gaara, and this is just the troops at hand. Adding frontline troops, Kiri's forces, and Kumo's soldiers, we'd have over 100,000, plus 25,000 reserves. A formidable army. And with the Akatsuki supporting us, we are sure to win. After Gaara finished, Sasuke spoke up. Naruto, your order came through, your custom Akatsuki cloak is complete. So the old man finally got moving good. The Akatsuki leader said, turning toward the elder Sasuke showed him. Pain-sama, sorry it took so long to finish. I hoped this would be my masterpiece. The old man said, don't worry, please show it to me. Of course. The man opened the case, revealing a finely crafted, long-sleeved trench coat. Coal black with blood-red lining, the collar extended slightly. The signature red clouds of the Akatsuki were on both shoulders, with red flames along the hem. Vertically on the back was the kanji for Sage of the Six Paths. You old man, you did an exceptional job. Are all the special features included? Naruto asked, snapping out of his thoughts. Yes, Pain-sama. It has a chakra-conductive steel mesh lining and a layer of black leather that channels chakra. Storage seals are included, and it's durable and weather-resistant, everything you asked for. Excellent. Thanks, old man. I'll call on you if I need anything else. The old man bowed, took his empty case and left the tower. Naruto removed his old cloak, revealing what he wore beneath. He wore a black, short-sleeved muscle shirt, layered beneath a sleeveless steel mesh shirt, topped by a medium gray flak jacket styled like Konoha's. His black cargo pants featured a red stripe running down each leg, merging into a red ring encircling the cuffs. On his feet were black steel-toed boots, while his hands were covered by black knuckle gloves reinforced with steel plates on the back. A medium-capacity utility belt, already stocked with every tool he might need, rested around his waist. 2 hip pouches were filled with essential shinobi gear, his Aimgakure forehead protector was tied firmly across his brow, and 2 thigh holsters carried extra kunai and shuriken. Attached to his belt were a pair of scrolls, securely fastened with an empty notch on the left side, along with a finely crafted kodachi sheathed low on his back. Naruto reached for one scroll, unsealed the Sennin no Tsurugi, slipped it into the vacant notch, then secured the scroll back in place. With that done, he donned a new trench coat. The atmosphere shifted perceptibly the moment he put it on, and when he turned around, everyone saw why. The bright cerulean of his eyes was gone, replaced by the glowing, otherworldly Rinnegan. Sasuke, Naruto's voice was low, edged with a growl. Yes, to Konoha. With pleasure. Kankuro, inform the troops we're ready to move out, Gaara commanded, turning to his brother. Kankuro saluted and vanished, followed by Sasuke, who went to rally Aim's forces. Gaara and Temari soon disappeared as well, leaving Naruto alone with the rest of his Akatsuki. Facing them, he gave a simple order. Advance! The entire Akatsuki obeyed, disappearing into the shadows. Naruto remained, inhaling deeply before murmuring, so it begins. Outside Konoha, 10 hours later, Tsunade had received word from scouts that Aim's forces, along with Suna's, were mobilizing and nearing Konoha. As Shikaku had suspected, they had used Tanzakugai as their gathering point, where they rendezvoused with most of Adagakure's shinobi and launched their full-scale invasion. Now, Tsunade stood at the head of Konoha's shinobi forces, or at least the 15,000 who hadn't been caught in the initial assault, since the rest were occupied holding the fronts against Kumo and Kiri. She was painfully aware that she was outnumbered by the monstrous combined army approaching, and all she could do was pray to Kami for a miracle. That hope was shattered when the vast army of Aim and Suna shinobi came into view on the horizon. Whispers rippled through Tsunade's troops, murmurs about the size of the enemy, and about Naruto and the Akatsuki's whereabouts. Tsunade herself wondered where Naruto was until he appeared, flanked by Gaara, at the head of the overwhelming force. She exhaled in relief when she saw no other Akatsuki with him, only for that relief to be short-lived as one by one, the Akatsuki emerged from the ranks and lined up behind Naruto. Her complexion turned pale as Naruto raised a hand in a beckoning gesture, silently saying, "We need to talk." Yielding to her godson's command, Tsunade stepped forward, accompanied by Shizune, Shikaku, and Inoichi. Naruto advanced as well, with Sasuke, Sakura, and Konan by his side. The two groups met at the center of the space separating the armies, beginning tense final negotiations. "Quite the army you've assembled, Naruto," Tsunade remarked, breaking the silence. "It took time to prepare." "I can believe that, but one thing puzzles me. How did you convince Hidden to rejoin the Akatsuki?" "So, you noticed. It was simple, really. I found out that Zetsu disobeyed my orders and brought him back to Aim, reconstructing him. At first, I was angry at Zetsu for defying me, but then I realized the advantage of having him on my side should war erupt, and war did break out. Now I have a formidable fighter with me, so it was all about the war. Unfortunately, yes, that said, Senju, I'll say this once, surrender, you have no chance of winning or surviving. You underestimate Konoha's shinobi Uzumaki. On the contrary. Don't forget, I was once a shinobi of Konoha. I know your strengths, your weaknesses, the village's vulnerabilities, and I've trained my forces accordingly. Then you underestimate the will of fire. And you underestimate the sage of the six paths. You are no sage. You're a pretender. Last chance, Senju. I'll say this once, Uzumaki, fuck you, I will never surrender, nor will my shinobi." "Very well," turning to leave, Naruto suddenly whipped around and landed a powerful right hook to Tsunade's face, sending her crashing into her army's ranks. Shizune lunged to finish her, but Sakura, seizing the moment, struck Shizune similarly, sending her flying back and impaling her spine first into several trees. Shikaku dodged out of harm's way, but Inoichi was not so lucky. Sasuke's lightning-fast attack drove a Chokyudo through his heart. War cries erupted from both sides as the armies clashed. This was the war's first major battle, the one that would tip the scales. Amid the chaos, Naruto weaved through Konoha shinobi, searching for Tsunade. He found her fending off a few Aim Anbu who had slipped behind enemy lines. He paused for a moment, impressed by the distance his punch had sent her, at least 400 yards. Snapping out of his thoughts, Naruto dove back into the fight. "I told you, Senju, you stand no chance," Naruto said, intercepting a strike aimed at one of his Anbu. "Leave this to me. Your help is unnecessary." The Anbu retreated as Naruto grabbed Tsunade, delivering a swift, punishing knee to her gut. The Senju princess doubled over at his feet. "Yes, that's your place, Senju, on your knees before me. This is the only fate you'll know after today." Tsunade spat blood onto Naruto's boots in defiance. Growling, he followed with a fierce heel kick to her face, sending her crashing through Konoha's walls into a residential area. A twisted smile crept over Naruto's face as he casually strolled through the breach, muttering, "Now, the real pain begins." The battle raged on. Bodies littered the once beautiful Konoha forest, now a desolate wasteland of ash, blood, and broken weapons. Still, neither side gave ground. Aim and Suna had numbers, but Konoha held home advantage, though that was about to change. Gaara, stoic throughout the fight, finally cracked a smirk, clapped his hands, and whispered, "Ryuusa Bakuryu, quicksand cascade surge." Almost immediately, an enormous wall of sand burst up from the center of the dividing battlefield between the two armies. This towering sand barrier easily surpassed the height of the Hokage's mansion and stretched far and wide. Every shinobi present was stunned by the spectacle, but the Sunanin knew exactly what was coming next. The sand wall surged forward, curling inward like a massive tidal wave. Eventually, it curled completely and crashed down on the unlucky Konohanin, who failed to retreat in time. Before anyone could inquire what had transpired, a fierce shout echoed, "Sabakusou, Sandfall Imperial Demise." What followed was the entire sand-filled zone collapsing inwards, sealing the fate of the trapped, fallen, or unconscious shinobi inside. In a blink, half of Konoha's forces vanished from the battlefield. Another war cry erupted as the allied Aim and Suna troops surged forward, to press their advantage against the battered Konoha soldiers. Bloodied and battered, the Konoha stood unwavering in the face of overwhelming numbers and insurmountable odds. And so did their Hokage. Tsunade locked eyes with the second Rinnegan wielder she had ever faced. That infuriating smirk remained fixed on his face, his eyes glowing with an infernal blaze as he stared down the goddamn Hokage, the woman he once called Bachan, the one he would have died for without hesitation, the family he no longer recognized. Without hesitation, he lunged at Tsunade again, his fist barely stopped by a Rasengan the size of a baseball. Naruto's scowl deepened as he spotted the raven hair of his former protege, Sarutobi Konohamaru. "Konohamaru, you dare turn against me," the Akatsuki leader murmured. "And you dare assault our home. Nichan, what twisted you so much that you'd mercilessly attack the village we both grew up in? You're just a child. You can't comprehend my reasons. Step aside, let me handle Senju and I'll overlook this little incident. You'll have to kill me first." "No, Konohamaru, run, you stand no chance against him." "Escape now," Tsunade pleaded desperately. "Heh, bet on me losing, Bachan, I'll only take 5 minutes." "Come, Konohamaru, let's see if the student truly outshines the master." Rushing toward Naruto, Konohamaru ducked under a roundhouse kick, landed on his left hand, and countered with an upward heel strike. Using the momentum, Naruto swung another roundhouse that blocked the attack and sent Konohamaru stumbling back. Quick thinking, Konohamaru flipped backward with one hand, landing safely. Not wanting the battle's flow to shift, he concentrated chakra in his feet and dashed forward, delivering a heavy right hook to Naruto's head. Naruto deflected with his left hand, countering with a gut punch blocked just in time. Then came the words Konohamaru dreaded. "Shinra Tensei." Konohamaru screamed in agony as he was blasted backward, spine first through the wall of a house, smashing through it, another wall, and crashing into what was ironically his old apartment's living room. Dusting himself off, he stood and faced Naruto again. Kick after punch, Konohamaru failed to land a hit on the Akatsuki leader. Blocking a punch, Naruto followed with a brutal right knee and then smashed his elbow into Konohamaru's skull base, knocking him out cold. "Why, Konohamaru, why betray me? Because you represent everything but peace. This attack on Konoha proves it. How in Kami's name can you call this peace? We each have our justice. Mine is more direct. Since you're still a child, I'll explain. If I can't achieve peace through diplomacy or force, I'll destroy this world and build a new one from the ashes." Konohamaru muttered under his breath. "What was that? You heard me. You're a fraud. Iro-Sennin would never approve of you attacking Konoha, never approve of you trying to kill Tsunade. He'd nev, aarg." His words were cut short as 2 chakra receivers pierced both his shoulder joints, pinning him. "You never truly knew Jiraiya-sensei like I did, yet you speak as if you understand his will. The arrogance of youth. Ha, too scared to face the truth, pain. Do not provoke me, boy. I could kill you now, but I'm curious. What is your idea of peace, justice, pain? A world where people live long without war or death looming, where children grow with their parents' love, where perseverance is rewarded and strength respected, where love is genuine, not forced, where everyone is equal, that's peace to me. That's exactly what I fight for, Konohamaru. I tried negotiation and diplomacy, but a few, Senju included, rejected it. So to forge peace, I must destroy them and bring order after the war ends. But you stand in my way, another obstacle I must eliminate. Sarutobi Konohamaru, I hereby execute you in the name of the Shadame Aimkage, Pain, and the second Rikudu Sennin." As Naruto withdrew his katana, a kunai flew toward him. Slicing it clean in two, Naruto spotted the thrower Mogi. "I won't let you touch Konohamaru-kun. Reinforcements." "Mogi-chan, no, why are you here?" "To save you, Konohamaru-kun." "No, save yourself." "I'm the target, run." "I refuse, I'll protect you." "Damn it, listen to me for once." "You really should listen to your boyfriend, Mogi. My fight isn't with you but with Sarutobi and Senju. Run and I'll forget you exist." Naruto was met with another kunai. Slicing it again, he raised his left hand. "Bansho Tenin." Mogi was instantly yanked toward Naruto at high speed. She formed the seals and unleashed. Katten, Karyu and Dan fire release, fire dragon flame bullet, blazing faster than before, forcing Naruto to stop the pull and form his own seals. Hayaten Hijutsu, Makyo Hyosho. Ice release secret technique, demonic mirroring ice crystals. A single ice mirror appeared, blocking the fire stream. It melted after absorbing the heat, and Naruto vanished behind Mogi. Sensatsu Suisho, 1,000 flying water needles of death. Dozens of ice needles formed from moisture and launched. Mogi tried to evade, but felt a blade pierce her stomach, Naruto's katana buried deep. Looking up, she saw the incoming needles, and with a final breath braced herself. All struck true. Mogi stood, katana in her gut, over a dozen needles protruding lifeless. Konohamaru watched in horror. When Naruto pulled his katana from her and let it drop, the Sarutobai's anguished wail echoed. "This is loss, Konohamaru. This is death, this is pain," Naruto said to the broken boy, pulling a chakra receiver from his sleeve. Sheathing his katana, Naruto extracted the other 2 receivers from Konohamaru's shoulder blades and grabbed him by the collar. "Become my Usura path, Konohamaru. Become one with pain. Embrace it. Know it." Naruto thrust the receiver into Konohamaru's heart. The boy's eyes dimmed and shifted to the Rinnegan. Throwing the body aside to allow the transformation, Naruto appeared before Tsunade, who recoiled in shock. "Now it's only you and me, Senju." Somewhere else inside Konoha. Same moment, "What's the matter, Shikamaru? Can't come up with a plan to stop my power, huh?" shouted Uchiha Sasuke as he landed yet another kick that sent Shikamaru sliding backwards. Coming to a stop, Shikamaru glanced up just in time to see Sasuke's Raiten-charged Kusanagi blade rapidly descending toward his head. Pulling out Asuma's chakra blades, Shikamaru infused them with as much Futon chakra as he could to counter the Raiten energy. Unfortunately, Sasuke's lightning chakra was more refined and instantly shattered the wind chakra upon contact. The blades themselves held on a little longer, but soon developed cracks and snapped. Thinking quickly, Shikamaru ducked and rolled aside, creating some distance between himself and Sasuke. "So much for those chakra blades. Did your sensei really fight using those?" "They're weaker than any metal I've seen," Sasuke mocked, resting his Kusanagi on his shoulder. "My sensei was a good man. Your sensei was a fool. He died fighting hidden of all people." "Shut up, not only a fool but weak. And you know why he was weak." "I said, shut up." No matter how hard Shikamaru tried, he couldn't trap Sasuke with his Kage Main no Jutsu shadow imitation technique. Sasuke was just too swift. Face to face, Sasuke drove a brutal knee into Shikamaru's stomach and locked him in a one-handed chokehold. Smirking, Sasuke pulled Shikamaru close and whispered, "He lacked hatred, and so do you, Nara scum." Shikamaru struggled but felt frozen in place. It was as if a buried emotion suddenly surfaced, fear. Pure terror overwhelmed him, unthinkable and surreal. The surroundings warped until they shattered, revealing utter blackness. Sasuke vanished, leaving only Shikamaru standing in the void. Then, the void filled with the bodies of his friends, clan members, his father, and Asuma, each gazing at him with disappointment and scorn. Above all, one sight shattered Shikamaru completely. Temari, seated on a throne made of bones, her throat slit, clutching a bloodied kunai, her face twisted in hatred. Shikamaru screamed in horror. The scene fractured, snapping back to reality as the Tsukuyomi faded. His mind shattered, Shikamaru collapsed silently, while Sasuke grinned darkly. "There's only room for one genius, and that's me." With Sakura and Shizune, the two stood facing each other, one unscathed, the other sporting a swollen black eye. The raven-haired medic charged again, chakra scalpel ready in her right hand. Sakura easily dodged each strike, conserving energy until the moment came. Charging 2 chakra scalpels in both hands, Sakura blocked Shizune's attack with her left and thrust the other toward Shizune's chest. At the last moment, Shizune released a puff of poison mist into Sakura's face, forcing her to recoil while holding her breath. "Remember the basics, Sakura, your skin breathes, too," Shizune sneered, savoring her advantage, until Sakura vanished in a flash of lightning, striking her opponent. "I love Raiten Kage Bunshins, lightning release shadow clones, way more effective than other clones." Sakura's voice sounded behind the stunned Shizune, who barely had time to retort before a cold paralysis crept through her limbs. Sakura's chakra scalpel had severed the nerves connecting her joints and spine, leaving her immobilized. "This is the difference in power, Shizune. This is what the Akatsuki commands. Why, Sakura, why betray us? For Sasuke-kun, Naruto-kun, and for peace. Nonsense. Look around, Naruto's doing the same thing Pain did when he invaded. You don't understand. Naruto-kun isn't acting out of hatred or revenge. He cares deeply about this world. Believe me, this breaks him inside, but he must act because that which you call Hokage, and that decrepit fool Anoki have thrown the entire world into chaos for their own gain. That's why the whole world is against you now, Shizune. How can this bring peace? I've seen things with Naruto-kun I never thought possible. I've seen him control the weather, take down assassins with whispers, destroy battalions with a single strike, even bring the dead back. This war means nothing to him. He will bring peace one way or another. I've chosen my side, Shizune, and I'm not convinced your loyalties lie fully with Tsunade. And no, you're wrong, am I? Then why the trembling? Ignoring Shizune's glare, Sakura pressed on. You know deep down, you want to cast Tsunade aside for the path she chose. You know supporting Anoki at the 5-cage summit was wrong. You want to stand with Naruto-kun, don't you? But Konoha has made its choice. That doesn't mean its shinobi and civilians have. Join us, Shizune-senpai, you'd be invaluable to the New World and the Shinobi Alliance. I accept. I pledge my loyalty to Uzumaki Naruto, Akatsuki leader, the second Pain, and the second sage of the Six Paths. And I, Uchiha Sakura, Pain-sama's bodyguard and Akatsuki member, welcome you into Aimgakure's shinobi forces Jounin. Feeling the numbness fade, Shizune rose unsteadily, removed her Konoha forehead protector, and tossed it aside. Then I serve Pain-sama. With Naruto, same moment. Shinratnsei, Naruto shouted, unleashing one of his signature attacks against the charging Senju princess. Tsunade was blasted backward, but regained her footing by channeling chakra to her feet, rooting herself to the ground. Come on, Senju, show me your clan's true power. I know you have it, Naruto shouted, intensifying the attack by adding his free hand to the blast. Tsunade lost balance, then was hurled against the Hokage mansion's outer walls. Show me the strength of Senju Hashirama's Mokyutin, would release. No sooner had Naruto spoken than the crater where Tsunade landed blossomed with trees and plants of all kinds. Mokyutin Hijutsu, Jukai Cotton, would release secret technique. Nativity of a world of trees, Tsunade called out, making the snake hand seal. It was now Mokyutin versus Rinnegan, Senju versus Uzumaki, family versus family, their final confrontation. Excellent, now this is a fight worthy of my time, Senju. Naruto, why do this? If you want peace, why fight? Even if I told you, you wouldn't understand. Enough talk. Now feel pain, Naruto yelled, forming the horse hand seal. Katten Goka Mekyaku, fire release, great fire annihilation. An immense firestorm erupted, incinerating Tsunade's surrounding trees. Thinking quickly, Tsunade formed hand seals and shouted, Mokyutin, Mokujoheki. Wood release, wood locking wall. Multiple wooden pillars sprouted, encasing Tsunade and barely holding against Naruto's fierce fire technique. The pillars burned but remained standing, until Naruto formed the ram hand seal, sensing the rising wind and named his next move. Futon, Atsugai, wind release. Crushing force. Before Tsunade could even respond, the wind release technique struck her protective barrier, using the nearby flames to ignite the entire dome and some surrounding ground, effectively trapping her inside her own jutsu. Naruto took a moment to steady himself, eyes fixed on the burning sphere, then suddenly leapt back just as Tsunade erupted from the earth near him, narrowly evading his intended uppercut. Landing gracefully, Naruto assumed an Iaido stance, narrowing his eyes at his target. Firmly gripping his katana, he drew it swiftly, breaking into a faint smirk as he felt the blade slice through the Senju heiress, more specifically, her outstretched right hand, severing it at the wrist. Naturally, he was fully aware this was a Moku Bunshin, wood clone, the real Tsunade standing a few steps behind, ready to decapitate him. He was about to pivot when the Moku Bunshin sprouted vines that ensnared Naruto, while sharp roots burst from the earth, piercing various parts of his body just as Tsunade closed in. For Konoha, for my clan, for this world, she shouted, her chakra-empowered fist smashing into the back of Naruto's skull with devastating force, breaking his bonds and propelling him not just through the blazing wooden barrier, but also through the outer walls of the Hokage's mansion and out the front doors. That's it, there's no way he could have survived that, she muttered between heavy breaths, having poured all her strength into that strike. Believing it was over, she relaxed and exhaled in relief, only to find herself yanked into the Hokage's mansion by an unseen power. As she flew through the same shattered structures Naruto had just passed, she spotted the source. Naruto himself, eyes dark with determination. Time seemed to freeze as their gazes locked, hazel meeting the light purple with ripple patterns, a battle of wills understood by both. Then time resumed as Naruto grabbed Tsunade by the throat with one hand and leapt upward, crashing through multiple floors before reaching the top level. Instead of stopping, he dropped the battered and bloodied Hokage roughly before ascending high above Konoha, hovering there ominously. Tsunade forced her eyes open, witnessing Naruto silhouetted against the moon. Like Pain with the sun before him, Naruto's form was framed by a celestial backdrop, and a wave of nostalgia washed over her as he struck the same iconic pose Pain had before destroying Konoha. This is it, his mercy has run out. This is the end of Konoha, she thought helplessly. Shinobi nearby, both allies and foes, paused their fights, staring in awe at Naruto's moonlit silhouette. Many Konoha shinobi remembered the devastation Pain wrought, others marveled at their supreme commander. Expecting annihilation, they were stunned when Naruto didn't unleash a Shinra Tensei. Instead, he ceased hovering and began falling back towards Tsunade. Mid-descent, his speed accelerated, nearly breaking the sound barrier. 20 feet from impact, he charged his katana with Raiten chakra, readying a stab. 5 feet from hitting the ground, Tsunade formed the snake handseal, conjuring two massive sharp roots that erupted from the earth, impaling Naruto just as he plunged his katana into her. The impact's shockwave shattered parts of the Hokage mansion's roof and slammed the two into a shallow crater. There they lay, Naruto with a lightning-charged blade through his chest, Tsunade with thick roots embedded near her abdomen. Both coughed blood simultaneously. Tsunade's grip on the handseal faltered, causing the roots to retract, gently lowering Naruto onto her. Locking eyes once more, Naruto sensed something different in hers. Carefully, he withdrew his katana from her chest and set it aside as the pain from his wounds surged anew. He collapsed onto the blonde Hokage, coughing blood. Though unsure why, Tsunade shakily wrapped him in a weak embrace, her hands resting near the bleeding wounds. A gentle green glow emerged as healing chakra flowed. Logic urged her to let him die alongside her, but another voice, seemingly from nowhere, compelled her to save him. Naruto's ragged breathing steadied, though his head remained buried in her neck, held by some invisible force, unwilling to part from his foe. When the healing completed, Naruto was no longer at death's door. Tsunade tightened her hold, burying her face in his shoulder. Naruto clenched his fists, pressing his face deeper into her neck, his shoulders trembling. In response, she gripped a fold of his trench coat, then a soft sob escaped them both. I failed you, Gaki. I wasn't the Bachan I should have been, Tsunade whispered, her voice shaky and faint. Tsunade, why did you? Naruto asked between sobs, his voice barely audible. Because you're the savior this world needs. I saw it in your eyes. Your will, your purpose, your true meaning, your real self, I saw it all. She coughed up more blood before continuing. That's why I believe in you, Tsunade. Saving your life and giving mine a fair trade for the Shinigami right. I'd give even more just to see the world after you bring peace. Bachan, please. That's the Naruto I know, keep me in your heart. Gaki, save some space in that big heart of yours. I want to see Jiraiya again, Sarutobi-sensei too, Minato and Kushina. I want to witness this world, through your eyes. Naruto forced himself away from her shoulder, looking into her eyes with his usual cerulean blue gaze that always brought her calm. She gave a faint smile and cupped his right cheek with her bloodied hand. Make me proud, Gaki, my will is yours, the will of fire is yours, Naruto. Bachan, please. Don't go. I love you, Naruto, you'll always be my #1 hyperactive, knucklehead, unpredictable ninja. Now let me go, it's my time. Bachan, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. I promise I'll bring peace to this world. I love you, Bachan, so much. I can see everyone, they're welcoming me, Jiraiya says hello, and Minato and Kushina, they're beside you now, Naruto, they're here. Go, Bachan. With one last weak laugh, Tsunade passed on, embraced by the afterlife's arms, Jiraiya and Hiruzen awaiting her. Welcome home, Tsunade, Naruto faintly heard Hiruzen say, then felt a weight on his shoulders and head. Looking sideways, he saw the ghostly figures of Minato and Kushina smiling, and above, Jiraiya ruffling his hair with a warm grin. No words passed, but Naruto wiped his eyes and smiled back, momentarily forgetting the battle. Tu-san, Ka-san, Jiraiya-sensei, thank you for being here, the pressures lifted, and a gentle breeze blew. Naruto looked toward the battlefield, silent and still. News of Tsunade's death and Naruto's survival had spread. Survivors surrendered on the spot. After one last mournful glance at Tsunade's body, Naruto stood, sheathed his katana, and moved to the mansion's balcony. Gazing out over the village and captives, he raised his fist and shouted, "Shinobi Alliance, let it be known today that we have won the field. This battle is ours. Victory is ours." Cheers erupted within the village and spread like wildfire to the troops outside. Konoha no Sato, the first and oldest shinobi village, had been conquered by one Uzumaki Naruto and his shinobi alliance. Both sides had suffered, but their triumph was assured. One enemy down. Now on to the second. During the months Hinata spent locked away in blood prison, she quickly learned never to reveal any sign of weakness or vulnerability. Because of this, she had earned a reputation as one of the few women in the prison you'd think twice before crossing. Known as one of the toughest inmates, yet, witnessing what was unfolding in Konoha at this moment was tearing her apart inside. The aftermath of the devastation from just a day ago was being broadcast throughout the prison on a handful of TVs. "Looks like Konoha really got hammered by the Shinobi Alliance," muttered one prisoner. "Seems like the Aimkage isn't holding back in this war. Konoha's been completely wrecked, just judging from this," another commented. "First Pain, and now this Naruto kid, Konoha might be finished for good," said a third. "Hinata, this must be hitting you hard," said someone sitting near the Hyuga. "Yeah, Hinata, to see your home village like this, torn apart by the man you gave your heart to, I'm sorry," came a voice from across the room. "Jinta Kashaku enough, she's already grieving enough. Don't make it worse," said a female inmate sitting beside Hinata. "Hinata, are you okay?" Hi, Hinata whispered quietly. "You don't have to be strong right now. We're all prisoners here, but even we know when to push and when to hold back." "I know, Kaise, but it's just, I wasn't there, I could have helped." "Hinata, please. I could have stopped this destruction. I could have been of use." You would have been killed," Kaise said bluntly, cutting her off. "You would have rushed to find Naruto, and he wouldn't have hesitated to end you. You and I both know that if you'd been there, you would have died. Nothing would have changed. You wouldn't have achieved anything except your own death. Coming here was actually a blessing in disguise. It saved you from this disaster. But, Hinata, don't fool yourself, don't kid yourself. You have no chakra, you can't use your Byakugan, and your gentle fist is useless now. Sorry to be harsh, but this comes from a commander's viewpoint. You would have been helpless." "Kizo," Kaise exclaimed. "It's the truth. I've seen many battles during my time as Kumo's lead ninja, Hinata. What the Aimkage did to Konoha was unavoidable, especially with your Hokage and Tsuchikage making their moves. Tsunade knew what was coming, yet stayed firm to protect her village and people. That said, Konoha never fully recovered from Pain's attack, so it's no surprise the Shinobi Alliance crushed them. No disrespect to your village or friends. But as for you, Hinata, it's certain you would have died if you'd fought. What Kaise said is true, being here was the best possible outcome. You're not responsible for Konoha's fall, nor should you blame yourself." "Thank you, Kaise." "Kizo, Hinata, you might want to step out now," one inmate near the TV advised. "Why?" "Well." Hinata's eyes widened as she finally caught sight of what was happening in Konoha. Same time, by order of Uchiha Sasuke, commander of the Shinobi Alliance, all Konoha prisoners of war are to be assessed. Those who prove their loyalty to Lord Pain will be granted amnesty. Anyone deemed dangerous or uncooperative will face public execution, an AIM Shinobi declared. "Well, Naruto's serious about this," Shikaku sighed, seated next to an unconscious Shikamaru. "Why would Naruto do this? Does he despise us that much?" Yashino, Shikaku's wife, asked. "No, Yashino, he's doing what he believes he must. He's inherited Jiraiya-sama's dream of true peace and is pursuing what he thinks will achieve it. I don't see how this differs from Pain's methods. Pain was cold and calculating. Naruto is the same, but he hasn't let hate or darkness consume him. He's seen humanity's light and shadow and grew tired of pacifism. Nothing would have changed with Anoki leading the resistance. Honestly, attacking first was the smartest move strategically, since we were surrounded, cut off from Iwa allies. Naruto seized the opportunity. I respect that tactical sense. Shikaku, look what his Uchiha lapdog did to our son. You're not a shinobi, Yashino. You wouldn't understand. This is war. Be grateful Sasuke didn't kill him outright, he easily could've. Still, it's unforgivable. Yunara idiot, I'd shut your whore of a wife up before she's sacrificed to Jashin-sama. Hidden shouted from across the room. Says the Akatsuki's disembodied voice for the Nara clan, Shikaku fired back. You idiot, Hidden growled, stepping forward, but a hand on his shoulder stopped him. Calm down, Hidden. They all must face the tests like everyone else. If they fail, then you can sacrifice them to your god, Mandu said firmly. Behave, the inner council is meeting, and I won't be here to restrain you. Ha. Like I need you. Who convinced Naruto to keep you alive when he almost incinerated you? Damn, fair point. Anyway, stay out of trouble. Hokage's office. A few minutes later, Sasuke, Sakura, Konan, Mandu, and Kasame stood around Naruto's desk, focusing on him intently. The first issue is what to do with refugees and prisoners of war, Naruto began. I'm handling that, Sasuke said. I know, Sasuke, and you're doing a fine job of eliminating potential threats. What do you mean? When I killed Tsunade, she saw into my soul and glimpsed the world after peace. She entrusted me with the will of fire. I intend to use it to our advantage. Use the village's own beliefs against them. I like it, Kasame interjected. And that way, we gain more soldiers and support, Sakura agreed. I concur, Naruto-kun, Konan said. Mandu, your thoughts? Asked Naruto. My will aligns with yours, Naruto-sama. Then halt this process and prepare the village for a speech. You're dismissed. Four left the room, leaving Konan behind with Naruto. He didn't speak, instead spinning in his chair, standing and crossing his arms as he gazed at his former home. The sun shone bright as if nothing had happened, but the scars were clear. Toppled buildings, shattered windows, piles of rubble, gaps in the village walls, and sand that Gaara was still clearing. Some districts were set aside for the dead, others for treating the wounded, both ally and enemy. Naruto exhaled deeply, closing his eyes as memories of the battle flooded his mind. And then Tsunade. His grandmother was dead. He killed her with his own hands. She died in his arms. Even though she was his enemy and could have left him to die, she saved him and entrusted the will of fire to him. Naruto gripped his arm tightly, fighting back tears until he felt arms wrap around him from behind. The dam broke, and all Konan could do was hold her leader her life and comfort him as best she could. She understood, having endured the same with Nagato during the AIM Civil War. Still, Naruto had invaded his home, made enemies of his friends, and killed his apprentice, a brother figure, as well as his godmother, who never stopped loving him until her last breath. Keiko-chan, Naruto's voice cracked. I'm here, Naruto-kun. Can I do this anymore? Yes, Naruto-kun. The pain will lessen but the memories remain. You must hold on to both and use them as fuel for your drive and our goal. Take a few days to recover. The war can wait. We must be at our best for the final assault on Iwa. I need a few days to calm down, gather myself. A well-earned rest. That's right, we've all earned this break. Now mostly composed, Naruto shook off the heaviness and turned in Konan's arms to face her, wrapping his arms gently around her as he did. Ko-chan, you seem like you have something on your mind. Well, it's just Naruto-kun, I'm expecting. A few moments of quiet thought followed Konan's revelation as Naruto slowly absorbed what she'd said. Konan opened her mouth to say more, but stopped when Naruto suddenly pressed his lips to hers. Surprised at first, she soon returned the kiss. Breaking away with a huge grin, Naruto's face lit up with joy. We're going to be parents. Do you know if it's a boy or a girl? Naruto asked. A boy, it's a boy. I'm so happy right now. We're going to be parents. Hi, we are, and wait, Naru-kun, something's wrong with your Rinnegan. It seemed the flood of emotions, plus the news of becoming a father, had triggered Naruto's Rinnegan, and what Konan said was true. Something was different. Not off, but stronger. Improved. Enhanced. Breaking his hold on Konan, he turned quickly to see his reflection in the window glass, and sure enough, his eyes had changed. The black rings had turned white, his pupils were white, and the Rinnegan's color was the deepest black he'd ever seen. So, this is the Kamishiny Rinnegan. You were right. Its power is incredible. Konan was about to ask who Naruto was speaking to, but she got her answer when a spirit emerged from Naruto's body. I hate to say I told you so, but well, you really should listen to me more, kid, the sage said, scratching the back of his head. Yeah, you win this round. Doesn't mean I'll stop being your cheeky descendant. Naruto-kun, who is this ghost? Konan asked. The Rikido Sennin, Naruto said casually, still admiring his new eyes. He's right, Mrs. Uzumaki. I am indeed the sage of the six paths. Konan wasn't sure whether to feel embarrassed that the sage knew about their secret wedding, or uneasy that his spirit still lingered after so many centuries. Naruto, remember what I told you that day in AIM? After Naruto nodded, the sage continued. I can literally feel the power radiating from you. Honestly, you have more power than I had at your age. Your potential is greater, too. And the best part is, you don't have a living god to contend with, though she might be a bit angry. Who? Kami herself. Damn. You never said I'd make an enemy of Kami herself by gaining these eyes. Yeah, she hated me when I got the Kamishiny Rinnegan, and since she named you the savior of the world at birth, good luck. Great. Anything else you want to tell me, Gigi? I never fully explained the Kamishiny Rinnegan's powers when we first spoke. Besides what I showed you that day, there are many abilities even I haven't fully uncovered. This Rinnegan gives you the power of Kami, truly limitless. With these eyes, you're a god on earth. The powers I know of are intangibility, invulnerability, extended lifespan, omnipotence, omnipresence, and unlimited chakra. The only real weakness is aging. You're not completely immortal, and time can still take you out. Other than that, you're nothing less than a god in human form. Then it's up to me to unlock the rest. This omnipotence is incredible. I can see everything, literally everything. It was overwhelming for me at first, too. You'll adjust? Oh, what's this? What? It looks like Anoki's interested in the Hazuki-jo. Blood prison, same time, clear the area. Lord Tsuchikage of Iwagakure is here, shouted a guard in the courtyard, forcing the prisoners to back off. In floated Anoki, accompanied by Akatsuki, Kuretsuchi, and Kabuto. I've come for one prisoner. Will Hyuga Hinata please come forward? The aged Tsuchikage called to all prisoners. Hinata stepped forward, followed by Jinta, Kashaku, Kaize, and Kizo. You requested me, Tsuchikage-sama? Hinata asked. Yes, I'm here to post your bail, Hinata. That's impossible. I wasn't granted bail. I'm serving a life sentence on orders of the Shadame Aimkage of Aimgakure no Sato. Your visit is pointless. Oh, I'm quite sure this prison will make an exception. I've dealt with this before. Yeah. And look where it got me, Gigi, right back in this hole. Kaize scoffed. You're just salty Tusan picked me over you, Nisan. Kuretsuchi smirked. And you're still that spoiled brat I used to call my little sister. Kaize, please, I want to hear what Tsuchikage-sama offers. Hinata intervened. I can get you out, Hinata. When you're free, I want you to join my fight against Naruto. I know some of your training, but not everything. I believe you'd make an excellent jounin, maybe even ANBU. I'm putting my trust in your skills, they'll be invaluable in this war. Again, your visit is useless. My chakra is drained, and my Karakuke chakra pathway system is completely dried up, unable to sustain any chakra at all. That's where I come in, Hinata. I'm sure we can find a way to restore your Karakuke, Kabuto said, adjusting his glasses. We should take this chance, Hinata, not just for freedom, but for positions in the resistance against the Gunshin god of war. Jinta added. Please, Anoki scoffed, that brat is no god of war, and my offer is only for Hinata, not the rest of you. If I accept, my friends get amnesty too. We've been through a lot in blood prison, and I want them with me, not separated, Hinata insisted. HN, very well, I see no harm in recruiting a few extra fighters. Welcome to the resistance. The court, Kami's throne room. I'm sorry, Yami, say that again. What happened to Naruto? Kami herself asked Yami, the god of darkness, rubbing her forehead. He's gained the Kamishiny Rinnegan. He's no longer Uzumaki Naruto, Kami. He's the real deal. The new sage of the six paths. How did I miss this coming? She murmured. The sage always meddled in our affairs. I know he was meant to be the savior of the world, but doesn't this help us? Explain. Now that he's officially the sage of the six paths, it means the world is ready for the Jubai to return, and to relive the epic battle between gods, to test this new sage, to see if he's as strong as the last one. I don't see how the last 10 tails held my essence, my physical form on earth. The last sage was strong enough to confront me, which is why he must be tested. Give Hinata that power and she'll surpass even the first sage. At Yami's suggestion, Kami reclined in her throne until, with Hinata, same time Hinata had fallen to her knees just after boarding the boat to the mainland, screaming in agony and clutching her head. Oi, Hinata, what's wrong? Kashaku called, kneeling to check on her. She screamed louder as the pain spread through her body. It felt like she was burning from the inside out, the worst pain she'd ever experienced, worse than having her Karakuke sealed. Eventually, the pain overwhelmed her and she fainted. What the hell just happened? Jinta asked. Kizo examined her, no physical injuries or poison signs, but when he opened her eyelids, he stepped back in shock. Kizo, what is it? What happened? Kaize asked. WL, we might just have our ace for this war. Naruto collapsed, screaming, hands covering his eyes like they were on fire. Conan moved to help but knew she couldn't do much. The sage simply pinched the bridge of his nose, sensing what was happening. "Divine, why must you always interfere in my affairs?" He muttered softly, then shifted his gaze back to Naruto, who was starting to recover from the ordeal. "My all-encompassing power, it's gone. And it feels like most of my strength has been stripped away too," Naruto growled through gritted teeth. "The divine just played her trump card. She stripped you of your omnipotence, omnipresence, intangibility, and significantly weakened your invulnerability. How dare she? She is still the divine, Naruto, and she still holds the authority to revoke what she granted. You remain stronger than any shinobi alive, but now there's someone who can match your strength." "Who?" "That, I cannot say. The divine is blocking my own omnipotence, so I cannot perceive who it is. My chakra is also depleting, so I must return to your body, Naruto." Without waiting for consent, the sage merged back into Naruto's body just as the pain fully subsided. "Naruto-kun," Conan asked, concern clear in her voice. "I'm fine, Ko-chan, just seriously pissed at the divine right now." "Naruto, Kurama isn't here." The sage's voice echoed inside Naruto's mind. "What? How is he missing?" "His prison is empty, he's simply not present, and I have no it can't be the divine would she?" "Wouldn't what, Jiji?" "Shinju, it's whole again." That single name sent a shiver down Naruto's spine, and despite himself, fear gripped him for the first time in ages. The Jubai Ten-Tails was restored thanks to the divine, and he knew it was his fate as the new Rikudo Sennin, sage of 6 paths, to confront and defeat it as his predecessor did. He was afraid, but the fear mixed with excitement. A real challenge, finally. "Be cautious when confronting the Shinju, Naruto. It even tested me." "Naruto-kun, you drifted off again," Conan noted after a few minutes of silent dialogue between Naruto and the sage. "Oh, sorry, Ko-chan. The sage and I were discussing. Apparently the Jubai has been reassembled by the divine." After Conan gasped, Naruto went on. "And it's my duty as the new sage to destroy it. The issue is, the power signature the sage and I sense is moving, and we can't pinpoint its exact location. Also, it seems to be inside a new host, as the signature is much weaker than before. What will we do, Naruto-kun? The only choice left. Invade Iwa and end this war. And the Jubai Jinchuriki, leave them to me. I'm the only one who can face them and possibly survive. Besides, we have more pressing matters." He placed a hand on Conan's belly and gently rubbed it, making her smile softly. "I know, Naruto-kun, would you?" "I will, Conan. I don't want you fighting while you're expecting. You're off active duty for now, and Sasuke will temporarily be my second in command." "Thank you, Naruto-kun." With Hinata. 15 minutes later, our Hyuga princess awoke in a room that felt like it was aboard a ship, judging by the gentle rocking she felt. Though whether it was the vessel or her own unsteady balance, she wasn't sure. What she did know was that her head was splitting with pain and her stomach unsettled, likely due to the motion. Hinata carefully slid off the bed and stood, uncertain if her legs would hold. She managed a shaky stand but collapsed to her knees after one step. My, such a fragile little thing you are," echoed a voice inside Hinata's mind. "Who or what are you?" "You don't get to question me, mortal," the voice declared, making Hinata's headache intensify. Wincing, she thought, "Mortal, are you a Biju?" "I am the origin of everything in this world, mortal. Once known as the Shinju God Tree, now I am known among your kind as the Jubai." She couldn't believe it, the legendary Jubai, the Ten-Tails, Aim no Hitsatsu no Kami, one-eyed god, Datara, the very god itself inhabited her, and she was its Jinchuriki. Compelled to stand despite her body's protests, she made her way to the bathroom, flipped on the light, and stared in awe at her reflection. She knew something had changed in her vision, but she never expected to see the Rinnegan staring back. "Those cursed eyes are the only thing keeping me restrained, ninja human. Do your best not to lose them, You don't want me unleashed on this world, do you?" Is this how Naruto-kun Uzumaki felt? The power of a Jinchuriki? No, this is the power of a god, ninja, a true god. With my might and those accursed eyes, you exist on an entirely different plane, so shall we test your new abilities? Suddenly, Hinata felt intense pressure on her chest that radiated through her body, then vanished. What happened next startled her. 5 spike-like protrusions emerged from her neck near her collarbone, and 5 more from her hips, tearing her casual kimono. 6 Magatama patterns appeared around her neck, with another 9 on her back beneath a Rinnegan-like symbol. 2 horns sprouted from her forehead, the right horn larger than the left. Her skin shifted from flawless pale to white scales covering her body. Where her torn kimono once was grew a cloak-like mantle, matching her new complexion and modestly covering her chest. Finally, her hair changed from brunette to stark white, matching her cloak and skin. "What's become of me?" Her voice surprised her, now sounding like multiple whispers from various corners of the room. "This is your Jinchuriki form, Ninjin. Get used to it, you will never revert to your former self. Now, let's hunt a worthy foe. My only adversary will be Uzumaki Naruto. Then let us go and erase his existence from this world." Without hesitation, Hinata leapt and soared through the ship's decks until she reached the outside. She breathed in the last rays of the setting sun before launching toward Konoha. From the ship, Kizo whistled appreciatively. Ace to winning the war indeed, with Naruto. An hour later, Naruto sat cross-legged on his father's stone face, eyes closed, breathing deeply. He felt calm now because he knew what awaited him. "Naruto, she's here." The sage's voice pulled him from his trance. "I know, Jiji," Naruto replied aloud, standing, tightening his Hit-Gate forehead protector, his Kamishiny Rinnegan blazing. Behind him, Hinata descended softly. Naruto met her gaze. Rinnegan locked with Rinnegan in a silent duel of wills. "Hinata, quite the transformation, I see," Naruto said calmly. "A significant change, indeed. I can wield my Karakyuke again, Uzumaki, and now I have the Jubai's power backing me, along with the Rinnegan." "Should I be impressed, Hinata? I'm the Sage of Six Paths, and you are the Jubai's new incarnation. How do you think this will end?" "History will not repeat itself today. Uzumaki, I will kill you and restore peace to the shinobi world." So said the last 30 I killed. Peace won't come as long as warmongers like your Iwa allies exist, nor as long as the abomination you carry exists. I'll kill two birds with one stone. I'll kill you to correct a past mistake and defeat the Jubai as my predecessor did. I said, I will not let history repeat itself. Then shut up and fight. And that was all that remained to be said, as Hinata surged forward in a blur, attempting to use her tremendous speed as a Jinchuriki to overpower her adversary. Naruto's Rinnegan sprang into action, assisting him in tracking her movements, until Hinata's strike finally came. Naruto skillfully blocked the right hook with his left forearm while simultaneously delivering a right hook of his own. Hinata quickly countered by redirecting his punch downward, swinging her right leg to land a kick. Spotting an opening, Naruto brought his left arm down vertically from the earlier block and slammed his elbow into Hinata's ankle, throwing her off balance and fracturing the bone. Not wanting to lose momentum, Naruto pointed both hands at her, who already knew what was coming next. "Shinra Tensei!" Naruto yelled as he unleashed a full-powered, point-blank Shinra Tensei blast at Hinata, sending her crashing back into the forest atop the great stone faces. "Remember what I told you, Naruto. Senjutsu sage techniques." The sage's voice echoed in his mind. "I'm aware, Jiji," Naruto replied aloud, an orange-red glow enveloping his eyes as his pupils turned into horizontal bars, maintaining the white hue of the Kamishiny Rinnegan, signaling his entry into sage mode. As expected, Hinata emerged from the woods completely unharmed, her previously broken ankle fully healed. "Is that all you've got, Uzumaki?" she challenged. "Not even close." Naruto growled behind her before a strange burning sensation coursed through her back. Before she could react, she was hurled forward into Konoha's skyline, then exploded in a massive burst of blue-white chakra that illuminated nearly the entire village. "Senpu, Futon, Udama Raisen Shuriken, Sage Art. Wind Release, Great Ball Spiraling Shuriken," Naruto announced, forming the horse handseal, preparing to unleash one final jutsu. "Senpu, Katen, Goka Mekiaku. Sage Art, Fire Release. Great Fire Annihilation." He then summoned a colossal fire tsunami over Konoha's skyline, most of it striking the Raisen Shuriken sphere, adding intense flames to the microscopic needles tearing Hinata apart from within. Over the roaring inferno and the piercing whir of the Raisen Shuriken, one sound pierced through: Hinata's agonizing screams. After a few more minutes, the assault ended, and Hinata fell from her hovering position onto Konoha's streets, where Naruto awaited. "Jubai Jinchuriki, all-powerful, my ass, you're nothing special, Hinata," Naruto said as he drew his katana, infusing it with Sage Mode's lightning release chakra. "Why Kami chose you as the Jubai Jinchuriki baffles me, but I'll end all of this here." Suddenly, 4 smoke bombs detonated around Naruto and his target, though they barely affected the Rinnegan. 2 figures rushed in, one toward Hinata, the other toward Naruto, who swiftly stabbed the attacker approaching Hinata and blasted the other away, along with most of the smoke, using Shinra Tensei. More smoke bombs exploded, releasing poison gas as 3 more figures charged in, 1 after Hinata, 2 after Naruto. "Chi-feudal," Naruto muttered, ripping his katana from the fallen foe and cutting down the other 2 attackers, though this allowed the third to seize Hinata. Naruto stared at the empty spot where she had lain, seemingly unmoved. After a few moments, he turned his attention to the 4 bodies before him. 2 were clearly Nara Shikaku and Akimichi Chusa, the other 2 random Konoha shinobi. Though he never saw the one who took Hinata, his Rinnegan sensed the chakra. It was Shikamaru who had woken and rescued her. Sighing, Naruto pinpointed Hinata's location using the Hurashin tag he had placed on her and immediately used it to pursue her. Meanwhile, with Shikamaru, Hinata whispered weakly as she was carried on his back. "I'm here, Hinata, we're getting you to Iwa. We, the resistance." Around 1,000 Konoha shinobi, mostly Chunin and a few Jounin, have defected and are heading to Iwa. The Tsuchikage sent word that you might confront Naruto, so we mobilized as fast as possible. Uzumaki, he utterly overpowered you, Hinata. There's no hiding the fact you harbor the Jubai, or that you possess the Rinnegan. But having 2 of the greatest powers in the world doesn't mean you understand how to wield or control them. Charging in without knowing your limits was foolish, especially against Naruto, who fully masters his Rinnegan abilities. I had to, Shikamaru, he's a monster. I know, Hinata, but the time to fight will come. First, we must get you to Iwa to heal, then find a way to train you properly. Alright, thank you, Shikamaru. You're a comrade, Hinata. I never abandon a comrade, no matter what. He noticed Hinata had fallen asleep, smiled softly, and focused on reaching Iwa when his earpiece buzzed. Shikamaru, Chaoji's voice cracked over the line. What is it, Chaoji? He's here, what? Naruto's here, chasing you and Hinata. Ino and I are holding him off to buy you time. I can send backup, no. You know it's a waste, let Ino and me handle this. But you'll die without backup. We're going to die anyway, now move and get Hinata to IWA. Chouji. What followed, thanks to the still open channel, was the sound of his 2 friends' fate, meanwhile with Chaoji and Ino. Step aside, both of you, I don't wish to kill my friends, Naruto said coldly. And yet you attack your home, kill your godmother, turn 4 of your friends into paths and try to kill another. You're a hypocrite, Naruto. Ino shouted, drawing a kunai. You've become what you vowed to destroy. The best mercy we can show is to end you before you ruin yourself, Chaoji said, dropping into battle stance. So be it, Naruto muttered, vanishing from sight. Seconds later, Chaoji's back exploded in a fountain of blood as he dropped to his knees, eyes wide in shock. Chouji, no, Ino screamed, horrified as she watched her friend die. She spun searching for Naruto, who suddenly appeared before her and struck her hard in the gut with a knee. Ino fell, coughing up blood at Naruto's feet. It didn't have to end like this. Ino, now all 3 of your clans will suffer. Why you? As we speak, the Nara, Yamanaka, and Akimichi clans are being wiped out by my ANBU and Akatsuki operatives, and you have one final role before death. Hidden's been eager to get revenge on your team. Once he finishes sacrificing the Nara clan to his god, I'll hand you over to him. He can do whatever he wants, whether it's sacrifice or satisfying his darker desires. You, truly are a demon, Uzumaki Naruto, Ino said, coughing more blood. Call me Demon King Naruto then. Demon King, that actually sounds fitting, mused Naruto as he delivered a final kick to Ino's forehead, knocking her out. He then signaled some ANBU to take her away, smirking darkly. A fitting title indeed. Shikamaru thought the coast was clear. It was a shame to leave behind his 2 closest friends, but at least Hinata was safe. He was about to cross the land of stone border when he heard the whistling of a Fuuma shuriken. Sensing danger, he dodged right just as the weapon flew past harmlessly, until its blades detached and shot outward, one aimed directly at them. Hastily, he dropped Hinata and barely drew a kunai to deflect the projectile, causing it to glance aside. Then he froze. A shadowy hand slithered up his body and gripped his neck firmly. Kage Kubishibari, Shadneck binding, he barely managed to whisper, disbelief thick in his voice. Sharp observation, Shika, came a voice from above. The source took shape as Mandu landed gracefully on the branch hanging overhead. Akatsuki, really? What tipped you off? Maybe this cloak I'm wearing. Honestly, I still can't understand why Tusan picked you instead of me. Tusan? Oh. The clan never filled you in. Mandu's cold laugh echoed, as his shadow constricted tighter around his target's neck, until a sickening snap announced Shikamaru's cervical fracture. I'm your twin brother, Mandu, Naruto shouted, dropping beside Hinata's still unconscious body using Hurricane. Excellent job, I owe you for holding him off. Thank you, Naruto-sama, Mandu said, bowing respectfully. Honestly, taking down my twin was a personal mission. And what better moment than now, huh? I like your style. Dispose of your brother's body and rendezvous with me back in Konoha. As you command, my lord. Naruto then gathered the inert form of the new Ten-Tails Jinchuriki and left Mandu to carry out his orders. But on the way back to Konoha, something unusual occurred. So, you're the Uzumaki kid this woman wants eliminated, huh? The Ten-Tails asked, speaking through Hinata's body. That's right, beast. Why are you wasting your breath talking to the enemy? Because I don't see you as my foe. You're a valuable ally. I know of your secret plans, and before you get defensive, I support them fully. Wait, you support them. Why? Because this world has wronged both of us, Uzumaki. Some random woman consumed my fruit, and I lost control, only to be defeated by your predecessor, who, unlike you, wished to preserve this world. I sense a darkness within you, Naruto, one even darker than mine. I also detect Hagoromo's presence inside you, but you don't need him anymore. You're stronger than he ever was, and he knows it. He fears what you can become. And what exactly could I become? I'm basically a god already. But not a true god like me, yet. You're not the true second sage either, you're missing one last piece of your puzzle, and that piece is me. Ah, I get it. You want me as your Jinchuriki so we can carry out my plans together. Exactly. Once we return to the place you call Konoha, start the extraction and sealing immediately so we can unite. Why the hurry? The war isn't going anywhere and I doubt Onoki will move just yet. Because, young Uzumaki, the full moon rises tonight. Our chances will be best if we act then. Tonight, that's also my birthday. Naruto shook the thought away, his gaze hardening. All right, tonight, the world will witness our power, right, Shinju? With an evil grin that twisted Hinata's lips, Shinju chuckled lowly. You're right, Demon King Naruto. Hai no Kuni / Tsuchi no Kuni border. Minutes later, what? Onoki shouted, nearly spitting out his tea. Uzumaki's planning what? He intends to become the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, Tsuchikage-sama. A scout beetle I placed on Hinata confirmed it moments ago through their conversation. Shino replied in his usual flat tone. Jiji, we must act now. We have enough troops and reinforcements to retake Konoha and stop the sealing. Give me the order to lead the charge. Kuretsuchi demanded urgently. I agree with my granddaughter Onoki-san. My Edo Tensei army will back you fully, Kabuto added. No choice then. Kuro, launch the attack. The old cage ordered, his granddaughter nodding eagerly as she prepared the troops. I will ready my forces as well, Kabuto said, bowing and excusing himself. Can we pull this off, old man? Kitsuchi asked. We have to, son, or Naruto wins this war and it's game over for all of us. Konoha, hours later under attack. Repeat, the forward outposts are. A scout's report was cut off by a wall of static. Damn, Sasuke cursed, slamming the radio onto the Hokage's desk and pacing. Naruto said Onoki wouldn't act this soon, and logically he shouldn't. Sasuke-kun, Sakura burst through the door. 3 forward bases went silent, plus others from our allies. Then the main force is coming. Sakura, prepare the army and alert Gaara, Mei, and that Onoki's moving. And Naruto-kun, he can handle himself. Mandu, Kasame, Zetsu, and a strong ANBU squad are with him. Now go, we don't have long before the enemy's at the gates. Sakura vanished in a shunshin, leaving Sasuke alone. He sank into the Hokage's chair, pinching his nose before pulling out a bottle of Tsunade's old sake, uncorking it and taking a swig. Time to come up with a plan. Konoha sealing chamber. Same time Hinata lay bound to a rough stone slab, surrounded by seals and runes. Her chakra was suppressed by Shinju, and sealing tags covered her eyes, blocking her Rinnegan from activating. Standing inside a large sealing rune was Naruto, bare-chested except for gloves. Mandu knelt behind him. Naruto-sama, all is ready. We await your command to begin extraction and resealing. Clapping his hands together in a prayer gesture, the Kamishiny Rinnegan ignited, and black misty chakra swirled around him. Let's begin! Mandu and Kasame stepped to each side of Hinata, mirroring Naruto's motion. Kasame placed his right hand on her abdomen, Mandu performed the half-ram seal with his left hand, and together they intoned. Bid you unseal. A blood-curdling scream filled the room as Hinata awoke, eyes rolling back, black chakra matching Naruto's pouring from her orifices and abdomen. The energy began shaping, signaling Shinju's reappearance, but Naruto shouted, "Shinju, come to me." The chakra form charged straight into the 8 trigram seal still on Naruto's body, despite Kurama's absence. The impact lifted Naruto several feet off the ground. Eyes wide, mouth agape as Shinju invaded the empty seal. "Just a few minutes, hold Onoki off until then, Sasuke," both halves of Zetsu murmured, watching. "Konoha, same time, Sasuke-sama, Sasuke-sama," a loyal Konoha ninja fell to his knees. "They're at the gates. I know how they broke through so easily is beyond me. The samurai are with them too." "The samurai, huh?" Mifune must have chosen a side. "Reinforce the center. Find Suijutsu and Jugo to lead the relief. Send Hidden to cause chaos. We must buy Naruto time." "Yes, sir." The ninja saluted and left. Sasuke contacted Sakura. "Sakura, how's it at the hospital?" "Bad, Sasuke-kun. Wounded keep coming. Edo Tensei and samurai forces are devastating us. Do what you can, patch them up and get them back fighting." "Hi," she replied, ending comms. Sasuke, finally stepping into leadership. A familiar voice came. Sasuke turned to see Itachi, undead and formidable, their Mangekyo eyes locked in a battle that shook the Hokage Mansion's foundations. "And I see you took my eyes." "Yes, and I'll use them as I see fit. This world is a hell and Naruto will fix it. Nothing you say will change my mind. I'd rather kneel to the devil willingly than be beheaded first." "Sasuke, I'm disappointed. This isn't what I wanted for you. You disappoint me, foolish brother." "I don't care. I think I'm doing right. I have no more words. We can fight again, or you can let me seal you so you can reunite with the clan." "And what about you? Don't you want to see our family again, Sasuke?" "Absolutely not. I'm counting on immortality once Naruto triumphs. Me, Sakura, and the rest of Akatsuki. So take your clan and shove it right up your undead backside." At that moment, black flames of Amaterasu burst from Sasuke's eyes, striking Itachi squarely in the chest. "I don't need a clan anymore. I don't even want immortality. As long as this rotten world pays for what it's done, that's all I care about. Nothing else matters." With those words, Sasuke's Susanoo formed, swinging its Kagetsuchi blade toward a still burning Itachi, whose own Susanoo appeared, blocking the strike with its Totsuka blade. "Impressive, Sasuke. Now, show me how much stronger your eyes are with mine added." Despite their best efforts, the surprise assault by Iwa, the samurai, the resistance, and the Edo Tensei army was stalled by the AIM shinobi's unyielding determination. They fought for Konoha, bled to hold Konoha, and damn it, they would keep it. Across every rank from standard Chunin to elite ANBU, a spark of hope burned. Naruto would come, as he always did, and wipe out the enemy in an instant. They believed deeply in their Shodai that every last fighter would lay down their lives for him, giving him the time needed to become the Jubai Jinchuriki. So they kept fighting. All of them. Every single one. They fought on. Their efforts paid off when Akatsuki reinforcements arrived, led by Suijutsu and Jugo. When the black and red of their cloaks appeared before the enemy's eyes, the AIM shinobi all let out a united cheer war cry, their spirits renewed. "Drive them back, push the bastards back." Suijutsu yelled, cutting a path of destruction through Iwa's ranks, inspiring the others to follow, with the ANBU leading the charge. The momentum was shifting. Despite the combined forces of Iwa, Edo Tensei, resistance, and samurai numbering the lone AIM army, they were being pushed back. What had been a swarm at the gates less than half an hour ago was now retreating into Konoha's surrounding forest. When the sealing corps arrived as backup, Edo Tensei shinobi began falling rapidly. Things looked grim for Onoki and his forces. Their only remaining champions were Itachi, Asuma, and Kabuto's so-called trump cards. "Kabuto," Onoki whispered, voice hoarse. "Yes, Onoki Dono," the snake man replied from his side. "We need one of your trump cards right now." Without hesitation, Kabuto performed the Edo Tensei summoning seals, and 2 coffins slid up from the earth, lids falling open. Their occupants stepped out, disappearing into the fray in a blur of black and red. "I wanted to save them for the fight against Naruto and Sasuke, but I suppose it's necessary," Kabuto said, his snake hissing in agreement. Just as the AIM shinobi began gaining ground, 2 new Edo Tensei fighters appeared, forcing them to fall back. Their identities were unrecognizable. Both moved faster than any shinobi could track, perfectly synchronized, tearing through anyone who dared challenge them. until red met red as Karin appeared at the front, crossing kunai with one of the newcomers. The first nodded to the second, slipping through while Karin was momentarily distracted. A black blur darted past her as she backed away, evading strikes until she found an opening to counterattack. Karin threw her kunai, which was perfectly blocked, but she paid for her focus when chakra chains burst from the earth, binding both combatants tightly. Why? Why would he bring you back of all people? Karin shouted in frustration. Is Kabuto really that cruel? Or did he mean for you to fight your own son? Tell me, Lady Kushina, please. Kushina only smiled. I have little control over my actions. He probably did intend for me to face Naruto, but I'm grateful another Uzumaki intervened. I've heard tales of you, Lady Kushina. If anyone could defeat Naruto-sama, it'd be you. You're his mother and a legendary shinobi, right alongside your husband, but I will not let you pass. Naruto-sama's vision is. My son's vision is flawed, his heart is pure, but his methods are wrong. Though I see what he's become and he cannot, I still love him as a mother should. But, with pure willpower, Kushina broke both Edo Tensei and Karin's chakra chains, then formed the seals to regain control of herself. I won't let him destroy himself, I won't lose him to darkness, and because I'm resolved, I will kill anyone in my way, clan member or not. And I will not let you leave. I'll hold you here long enough for Naruto-sama to finish absorbing the Jubai. Instead of attacking, Kushina let out a soft laugh, not cruel but genuine. You and he are very much alike, Karin. What? What do you mean? If this is a trick to lower my guard, it won't work. Another laugh. Karin, you and Naruto are alike because, she locked eyes with the younger Uzumaki. You're his twin sister, Karin. The revelation hit Karin like a blow. She was Naruto's twin, the sister of the Demon King, Pain himself, and now facing her own mother. It had to be a trick, a dream, a genjutsu, anything but reality. Then it started to make sense, the resemblance to Kushina, why Naruto accepted her Uzumaki bloodline, but no matter how she felt, she would not lose her resolve. She would prove herself to her mother, honor the Uzumaki name, make her father proud, and protect her brother with her last breath. Ka-chan, mother, I won't back down. I will fight you to protect my brother. Ah, you got my temper, didn't you? Kushina sighed. Well, no choice then. Since you won't help me convince your brother, I'll have to drag you both back into the light, kicking and screaming if necessary. Bring it on then, Tebio, Karin challenged, blushing at using her brother's old phrase. With that, mother and daughter charged in a clash. As if anticipating each other, both gathered energy for a single powerful attack, shouting together, Rasngan. Sphere clashed against sphere in a tense battle, the winner being the one with the most chakra left. Both pumped more energy into their Rasngans until the attacks shattered, blowing them backward. Landing with a backflip, Karin pressed the attack, cloak fluttering as she punched Kushina backward, until something struck Kushina's head from behind. It was a Karin clone that slipped past her guard. Thinking fast, Kushina feigned a charge, then at the last moment pulled back and elbowed the clone, dispelling it instantly. Karin used the drifting smoke as cover, prepared an attack with both hands, and threw a punch Kushina dodged, but felt her right cheek skin peel away, followed by her entire scalp dissolving, only to be restored by Edo Tensei's power. Chakra blades, huh? Kushina said, jumping back. Yes, Karin confirmed. If you were truly alive, Ka-chan, you would have died there. I won't sugarcoat it, you're strong, Karin, maybe as strong as I was at 17. But she whispered in Karin's ear after closing the distance in a blink. They didn't call me the Akai Oni, Red Demon, for nothing. Eyes wide, Karin tried to retreat, but Kushina was too fast, delivering a right elbow to her left temple, a left roundhouse kick to the jaw, then spinning for a brutal backhand that staggered her. Using Karin's dazed state, Kushina grabbed her shoulders, head-butted her, shattering her nose, then drove a right knee to her gut, doubling her over. Nursing her broken nose, Karin looked up just in time to see her mother's foot coming down for the final strike. Acting fast, she rolled aside, unbuttoned her cloak, and threw it up to distract Kushina. Kushina caught it and tossed it away, just as another Karin clone speared her, pinning her against a tree. Very well, Kushina exhaled as she lifted her hands to initiate a technique, only to have her hands suddenly trapped against the tree by the real Karin's chakra blades, followed by chakra chains erupting from the earth, binding both her and the clone tightly to the trunk. You're staying put, Ka-chan, Karin said with confidence, snapping her nose back into place with a sharp pop. And why do you assume that, Karin-chan? That Bunshin is a Bunshin Daibikuha clone great explosion. But it's no ordinary Bunshin Daibikuha, it's a unique Bunshin I engineered especially for combating Kabuto Team's Edo Tensei army. A Bunshin Daifuin clone great seal. You, Kushina murmured, her face softening slightly. If you so much as try to move, it'll detonate and seal you instantly. That's the true power of Uzumaki Fuinjutsu. The younger Uzumaki declared proudly, despite the lingering pain in her still throbbing nose. My daughter, she's grown into an incredible Kunoichi. I expected this from her, and I could have stopped her. But I want to see what path my Naruto-kun chooses before I make my move. It'll buy me time to catch up with Karin-chan, after all, rooftop of the Hokage's mansion. Same time, their Susanoo blades clashed one last time before fading away, as neither could gain advantage using their ultimate weapons. After the ethereal warriors vanished, Sasuke and Itachi charged again. Sasuke with a charged Chidori in hand, Itachi wielding a mini Yasaka Magatama. Their techniques were about to collide when a sudden black blur stopped them dead. Kei-ka-san, both brothers said in unison. Yes, I'm back, Itachi, Sasuke. Mikoto replied with a calm smile. More Edo Tensei filth, I see. Sasuke growled, forcing his Chidori through Mikoto's abdomen, then concentrating it into a Chidori sharp spear, aimed to pierce Itachi too. Still so reckless, aren't you, Sasuke? Mikoto said softly, her smile unwavering. Shut up, shut up. My mother and brother are gone, you too aren't them. The youngest Uchiha yelled, retreating and activating his Susanoo once again, now wielding the Totsuka no Tsurugi instead of the Kagutsuchi no Tsurugi. I'll seal you both in one strike. You've truly matured, haven't you, Sasuke? He has, Kasan, Itachi affirmed, smiling like their mother. Do you think he'll miss us when he does this? Knowing him, he will. Ready to accept death again, Itachi? Yes, I am no longer needed. Sasuke is this world's guardian now, or its downfall. Either way, it's Sasuke's choice whether he ends us again. You too, Sasuke sobbed. Why did it have to be you? Sasuke, Mikoto asked. My most precious ones, Sasuke wept. Why did that bastard defile your graves and memories? So, you cannot kill us after all, Mikoto sighed. How could I? I lived through your and Tusan's father's deaths. My entire purpose was revenge, and once I got it, I had nothing left. And you think Naruto-kun isn't the same as you, Mikoto said, shocking Sasuke. You think he isn't fueled by vengeance against the world. You think he truly cares about the world's fate. No, he does care, he fights for peace. Sasuke-kun, Naruto-kun does not care, he wants to watch this world burn. No, Sasuke yelled, shutting his eyes, wishing it were a nightmare. He wants everything to burn, including you, your wife, and your unborn child. No! Sasuke shouted again, his eyes changing shape as he instinctively raised his right hand, pointing at Itachi, screaming the two words whispering in his mind. Shinratnsei. Instantly, Itachi was pushed back into the Hokage stone faces by an invisible force common to Rinnegan users. So, he really has awakened, the second Uchiha to wield the Rinnegan, my little brother. You want to challenge me? Sasuke snarled. Fine, I'll go all out for you, Kaa-san. With those words, his Susanoo lunged, slamming the Totsuka no Tsurugi down towards Mikoto, who barely dodged the spectral blade, only to feel her back press against something solid. Seal, Sasuke shouted as he slapped a sealing tag on her back, immediately sucking her soul into it as her Edo Tensei form crumbled to ash. Ka-san, Sasuke whispered. Please forgive me. Meanwhile, Itachi peeled himself out of the mountain, silently mourning their mother one last time before launching his next assault on his younger brother, until he had to dodge a solid black chakra sphere hurled from below. Landing gracefully, alert, he faced the person he hoped not to see for at least another 10 minutes. There stood Naruto, clad in black robe and gloves, with black pants and shoes. His hair had turned white, the Kamishiny Rinnegan active, 2 chakra horns protruding from his head, his whisker marks deeper, and 6 black chakra orbs floating around him. In his hand was a solid black staff, and on his side rested a pure black katana forged from chakra. Naruto's overwhelming presence shocked Itachi. So, this is the true power of the Sage of 6 Paths, he mused. This is the might of a literal god, Itachi, Naruto declared. I have seen a true god, Naruto-kun, and you are not her. Want to see Miss Kaguya again, Itachi? I can arrange that. Kaguya-sama wants you dead, Naruto-kun. And yet, look what she gave me, Shinju, despite wanting me dead. Face it, Itachi. Kaguya wants me to do this. This is bad, I can't match him. My only hope is the crow still inside him. If I can reverse Kato Matsukami on Naruto-kun, maybe it will end without hesitation. Itachi activated his Manjikaiwu Sharingan and locked eyes with Naruto, hoping the challenge would work. Naruto, confident, met his gaze, then felt something crawling out from within. Wah, Naruto managed before Itachi's crow flew from his mouth and landed on his shoulder. With a half-ram hand seal, Itachi declared, Kato Matsukami, this is my final chance, this has to succeed. Itachi. Stop, Sasuke screamed, unleashing another Shinra Tensei that blindsided Itachi, sending him crashing back into the hole he'd just emerged from. Why, Sasuke? Don't you see he must be stopped? Itachi yelled from the cave, crow on his shoulder. Pathetic, Naruto laughed. Itachi, Sasuke is no longer your brother, he's my second-in-command and most trusted ally, you can't sway him. Naruto, Sasuke growled, staring down his brother. What's your plan? After crushing the resistance, then what? Naruto eyed him, deciding to play along. What do you think? True peace, lasting peace. It's been my goal all along, you should know that. Then, why don't I believe you? A mother's words are poison, Sasuke. Whatever Mikoto told you was lies, she was trying to turn you against me. And how would you know if a mother's words are poison? You never had yours. Be careful, Sasuke, Naruto warned, eyes sharp. My total victory is near, I won't tolerate more dissent or traitors ruining it. Then tell me the truth. Sasuke turned fully, pointing his Chokyudo at the Jubai Jinchuriki. I am telling you the truth. You have the Rinnegan now, can't you see if I'm lying? Is my chakra betraying me? Am I nervous? Can't I hold eye contact? Tell me I'm lying, please. Just shut up for a moment, let me think. Sasuke, listen to yourself. You're doubting your faith in me, letting dead woman's words poison your mind, turning from the path you chose. Don't listen to him, Sasuke, Itachi shouted. He wants everything to end like Kasan said. If you keep following him, you doom the world to the hellfire he will bring. Enough, Itachi, I'll enjoy killing you one last time. You and your kind have delayed me enough. Naruto fired 2 chakra spheres at Itachi, who dodged and closed the gap with a smirk. Then a tree branch erupted, piercing Itachi's chest. Mokyutin, he breathed. Yes, Naruto replied, still smirking. And you lose. Before Itachi could react further, he sensed a burning sensation within his artificial body, realizing far too late that embedded inside the branch was a tiny chakra sphere now tearing him apart from within. No, it's finished, Itachi, I've won. You're about to perish, the resistance's forces will crumble, you fought hard but you lost. And Naruto, what happened to you? Why does everyone keep asking that? Naruto sighed. Fine, I became what I needed to be to achieve peace. Any method, any sacrifice will be justified in the end. Even if it means losing the entire world. I am the second sage. I have the power to remake the world as I see fit. Ideally, I want as few casualties as possible, but if it comes down to it, I'll annihilate everything and start anew. Including your own troops, the Akatsuki, your wife and your unborn child. Shut up, Itachi. You can't stop me, the Demon King stammering. Interesting, Naruto. Deep down, you're the same person, just corrupted. No, I said shut up. Well, my part here is over. There is still one who might end this, and if you reject her too, then you're truly doomed. Vanish. With that, Naruto thrust one of the chakra spheres into Itachi's smiling face, obliterating him and scattering his remains to the winds. Releasing the sphere, he stepped back from where he destroyed Itachi, his eyes wide, as if struggling internally. After a moment he spoke. Sasuke, find Kasame, take some ANBU with you and head to the front lines. Fine, but I'll be watching you, Naruto. Only if the war ends and you fulfill your promise of peace will I trust you again. I'm okay with that, just go. Follow my orders and end this war. Why don't you fight yourself, Naruto? Shinju asked from inside her seal. Because I need time to reflect, to steel myself once more. I've come this far, victory is near, I can't falter now. Distractions, very well, I'll wait too, meditate and I'll guard you in your mindscape. Thanks, Shinju. Bah, don't think I'm soft. I'm only doing this because I respect you, unlike Hagoromo and that Hyuga girl. With that, Naruto withdrew into his subconscious to prepare for what might be the war's end and his complete triumph, only to find himself face to face with a woman. Not surprised, he sighed and conjured an imaginary chair to sit in. So, did you come to talk me down, persuade me? Why are you here? I have no idea what you mean. The woman replied in a sing-song voice, also imagining a chair and sitting opposite him. Playing coy doesn't suit you, milady. Oh, you're being polite this time, Naru-kun. Someone must have poisoned your tea, Naruto snorted. Yeah, right, bet you'd like that. Having you by my side forever. Whom I think I would. She stood, straddling Naruto, wrapping her arms around his neck. Again, Naruto snorted. Always the shameless tease, this really isn't like you, Haim princess. She purred. I love it when you use titles, Naru-kun. Did you come for pleasure, or did you actually want to talk, Kaguya? At her name, Kaguya slid off and sat back down. I came to talk, surprisingly. I'm listening. While you're doing well conquering the world, Naruto, I had a vision, a premonition. There's nothing you and Shinju can't handle. You know this since you followed Yami's advice and sealed him inside Hinata, knowing I'd use him for my own goals. That's true, Naruto, but I can't shake this worry. You, worried. What did the vision show? What did you see? Battlefield, same time, what the hell is that thing? He's a monster beyond belief. Run, fall back, retreat now. These cries echoed across the front lines. AIM shinobi were retreating from a new combatant who showed no mercy. From the moment he arrived, he devastated the resistance forces and the samurai, including Mifune, alone. Now he carved through the AIM army like a harbinger of death. Anyone in his path died without exception, and he hadn't even unsheathed his sword, only using his fists and feet. His blood-red eyes fixed on the next victim, a brave AIM Chunin who challenged him. She was quickly impaled on his arm and thrown aside. As he marched towards Konoha at a quick pace, a figure blocked his way. It was Yakushi Kabuto, already in sage mode. Sage, huh? The stranger asked, bored. Doesn't impress you, Kabuto licked his lips. I've seen a true sage, you don't impress me, kid. Oh, I assure you I'm real. Want to see the power of the 6 paths? Must be bad if you're still talking and not trying to kill me with it. Lucky for you, you're not my target. And who are you after? The fool who calls himself the second Rikudo Sennin. Uzumaki Naruto. I've watched him a while, and while I respect his goals, claiming to be the second sage, even a god, is unacceptable. So you plan to kill him and take his place. Exactly. Now step aside or I'll spill blood again. Seeing he'd likely lose, Kabuto bowed and vanished underground. I'll return stronger with allies if you fail. Farewell. Shrugging, the man lit a cigarette and continued toward Konoha, facing only minor fights against AIM and coalition shinobi. Soon, Uzumaki, you'll regret slandering my brother's name, Hagoromo. I swear on my name as Otsutsuki Yakin, you will be avenged, he thought, calmly puffing his cigarette. Konoha gates, same time what? Naruto-kun, you can't be serious. Sakura shouted, earning nods from most Akatsuki members. Sakura, not now, just follow my orders and evacuate with the troops. A danger greater than any I've faced is coming here to kill me. What the hell's gotten into you, Naruto? No one in this world can stand against you and live. Who's coming? Hidden growled. His name is Otsutsuki Yakin, younger brother of the first sage, Otsutsuki Hagoromo. He's dangerous because he possesses the other half of Shinju. He what? Suichitsu gasped. Oh no, Kasame muttered. Where's Karin? Jugo asked calm. My sister can handle herself now, all of you run. Get to the fallback point and fortify it in case the coalition chases us. Mandu, at his name, Mandu stood. If I fall, lead the Akatsuki and protect my wife and child. Hi, Naruto-sama, but I know you'll win. Loyal as always, and you, Sasuke. What? You may not trust me now, but you've always been my brother. If I die, my last orders are the same as Mandu's. Take care of Konan and Yusuke for me. Konan fidgeted nervously. En Naru-kun, she whispered. Holding his wife close, Naruto kissed her gently. It'll be all right, Ko-chan, trust me. You better come back, damn it, you better. I will, that's a lifetime promise. Naruto-sama, he's here. Mandu warned, and after a nod, took command and led the Akatsuki and their allies away, though one stayed behind. Sasuke, you heard me, Naruto said, facing the enemy. Forget your orders, we fight him together. If we win, I'll know you're genuine. And if we both die, well, if the world's already doomed, what do we really have to lose? At that, he gave Naruto a familiar, crooked grin. Naruto snorted, unsheathing his chakra blade, then let out another soft laugh as a known presence made itself felt behind him. Hinata, here to try and kill me again. I had another vision, Naruto. Kaguya spoke to me, she said calmly. And while I still believe you must answer for your past actions, Yakin is a greater threat. I'm not as skilled with the Rinnegan as you or Sasuke, but I'll do what I can. Besides, my Byakugan might come in handy. I don't see any issue with her joining us, Naruto. You've bested her before, and she understands what's at stake if Yakin triumphs. Then the three of us will make our stand, with the fate of the world riding on it. Hinata stepped to Naruto's left, inhaling deeply. Sasuke glanced over at her. Feeling nervous? He asked. Let's not pretend any of us aren't, she replied, activating her Byakugan as she deactivated her Rinnegan. Sasuke did the same with his eternal Mangekyo. Heh, this doesn't happen every day, Naruto said, noting their surprise. The three great eye powers, standing united on a battlefield. Been a long time since we've seen that. Let's hope it's enough to win, Sasuke murmured. Believe in it, Sasuke, Hinata said firmly. Together we have a shot. She's right, Naruto agreed. As a trio we can pull this off. I know, it's just. You're thinking about Sakura and the kids, I get it. I'm worried about Konan and Yusuke too, but I'm using that to push myself forward. We win and we carve out a world worth living in, one where our families can finally know peace. Isn't that something worth fighting for, worth dying for? Do you always know what to say? Before Naruto could add anything, Hinata leaned in and kissed him. He paused in surprise, then responded, letting the rules fall away in that moment. When she pulled back, her face was slightly flushed. I just didn't want to go without knowing what that felt like, Naruto-kun. Konan's lucky. Well, I appreciate the moment, Hinata, but let's keep this between us. Ko-chan might kill me. Agreed, though who knows what the future holds. Seriously. Starting another relationship right before what might be our last fight, Sasuke teased. What can I say? Naruto smirked. I've got that effect. You smug bastard, Sasuke said, his words lightened by his stifled laughter, which quickly spread to the other two. Once the laughter faded, the seriousness returned, but their smiles remained. Even now, we can laugh like we weren't fighting earlier, Hinata mused. Whatever happens, I'm glad it's you two beside me. Let's make this count. Hear, hear, Naruto shouted. Let's finish this, Sasuke agreed, drawing his blade. At that moment, Yakin strolled into range, stopping a few meters from them. Done with your sentimental moment? He asked. You took your sweet time, Naruto replied, his Rinnegan meeting Yakin's unflinchingly. You dare to challenge me with stolen eyes. They're mine now. I earned the Kamishiny Rinnegan myself. Don't be mad, Yakin. All I did was change the world. Spare me the speeches, Uzumaki. I'm here to end you. Your friend and that woman can be spared if he didn't finish. Naruto clocked him with a haymaker, sending him flying. Hinata is not a toy for you to insult. That actually stung, Yakin muttered as he got up, eyes gleaming with interest. This might be entertaining. Sasuke, Hinata. Let's go, Naruto called, getting quick affirmations from both as they moved into formation. Sasuke, now, he shouted. Naruto vanished and Hinata took his place. 8 trigrams. 128 strikes, she cried, unleashing a barrage that sealed many of Yakin's chakra points. But he muscled through and gripped her throat with 88 tenketsu still closed. Thinking fast, Hinata switched to her Rinnegan. Seeing her teammate's movement, she planted her hand on Yakin's chest just as the trio shouted. Shinra Tensei! The crushing force slammed Yakin from 3 directions, but he didn't loosen his grip. Naruto halted his technique, drew his blade, and dashed in, but Yakin, grinning, hurled Hinata into the path of the strike. Sasuke anticipated this, swapping her with himself and dodging Naruto's blade, then blinked Hinata to safety. He can read us, Naruto muttered as he reset his stance. Like we're open scrolls, Sasuke agreed. We need to think. Rushing him won't work. He'll win, even outnumbered, Hinata said. 2 of us have teleportation techniques. Sasuke's Rinnegan and my father's Flying Thunder God. If I could mark him, it'd help, but it's not a guaranteed solution. We need to delay him, stall, and come up with something, Sasuke said, forming hand seals. Hidden mist technique. This'll block our sight too, Naruto muttered as fog rolled in. Mine and yours, yeah, Hinata switch back. Hinata reactivated her Byakugan. He's still standing there. Good. Let's move into the woods while we've got cover. Mind sharing the plan? Naruto asked as they ducked behind trees. Simple. We use our most powerful techniques to hit him from 3 angles. Overwhelm him. Small issue. What? My best move could destroy the planet. Then don't use that one, idiot. You said strongest. Boys, focus, Hinata interjected. Right, this bastard has to go. I know exactly what I'm gonna use, Naruto said. Same here, Sasuke added. Me too. No, Hinata, your style's too close quarters. What we're planning, it's best if Sasuke and I handle it. I understand. I'll stay alert in case he survives. Naruto nodded, forming a small black orb between his palms. Ready. Sasuke thinned the fog just enough to see Yakin. Amaterasu, he intoned, and the final assault began. What the hell? Yakin shouted as he was suddenly engulfed in jet-black flames. Naruto, now! Sasuke yelled, prompting Naruto to hurl a dark orb at Yakin. Planetary devastation, Naruto declared, and the still-burning Yakin was yanked off the ground, launched skyward. Chunks of rock, rubble, and shattered terrain were pulled into the gravitational core of the technique, encapsulating Yakin in the growing mass. Sasuke ignited each fragment with black fire until the entire mass formed a colossal sphere suspended in the air, dwarfing the battlefield. Shinju, it's time, Naruto called out mentally to his inner beast. Finally. I've been waiting forever for this. Shinju responded with glee. Naruto raised his right hand towards the flaming mass in the sky. Together with Shinju, he gathered an immense amount of chakra into a glowing orb that floated just above his palm and hovered above the ground. With a roar, he hurled the orb toward the center of the suspended sphere. Tailed Beast Bomb. Upon impact, the orb detonated in a tremendous explosion of chakra, flames, and raw power worthy of the Ten Tails and its host. As the smoke cleared and the sphere was obliterated, Yakin, still ablaze from the black flames, plummeted from the sky. But Naruto wasn't done yet. He had formed a massive Rasen Shuriken, glowing an intense white as it swelled in size and power. Sage technique, elemental style, giant spiraling shuriken, he shouted, launching the attack directly at Yakin mid-descent. The technique detonated with immense force, combining wind, earth, and fire with the power of Amaterasu to obliterate Yakin on a molecular level. Moments later, as Yakin fell again, Sasuke, thrown toward him by Naruto, intercepted him mid-air. Grinning, Sasuke unleashed a brutal aerial combo, his limbs coated in blaze release flames to amplify the damage. Lion Barrage, he roared, slamming Yakin toward the ground. But instead of a finishing kick, Sasuke gathered a Chidori in his left hand and descended. Naruto appeared beside him, teleporting via Flying Thunder God, his right hand crackling with Reikiri. As Yakin opened his eyes, he saw the two charging him, their final attack moments away. Reikiri, Chidori, they shouted in unison, each piercing through his chest. One strike shredded his right lung, the other destroyed his heart and left lung. Yet they weren't finished. With their free hands, they each formed a Rasengan, one wind-natured, one fire, and slammed them into Yakin's head, merging into a scorch-release explosion that disintegrated his skull. Panting and exhausted, the two boys slowly stood. Take that, Sasuke muttered. You sorry excuse for a freaking meat puppet, Naruto added, vulgar and victorious. They did it, Hinata whispered from the tree line. They actually won. How are your chakra levels, Sasuke? Naruto asked, catching his breath. About half left. That combo drained me, no question. Why? Because he's not done. What? He has my healing factor. I was hoping destroying his heart and brain would be enough, but we didn't act fast enough. Way too slow, Yakin groaned as he stood again, flesh knitting itself together. Impressive, both of you, truly. I haven't seen coordination like that since Hagoromo's day, but now I stop holding back. Sasuke readied himself again, but Naruto raised a hand to stop him. No, we tried working together, it didn't end it. I'll handle this alone, I'm the one he wants. Don't do this, Naruto. Sasuke, you're my brother, always have been. I want you to live, to raise your children, to hear them call you dad, but this is where I step away. Damn it, Naruto. I want you to be there for your kid too. I don't want to tell Conan you're gone. Look after them for me, Sasuke. Don't do this. Naruto appeared behind him, whispered his thanks, and delivered a knockout chop to the neck. Thank you, Sasuke, for everything. Yakin raised a brow. You're nobler than I expected, Naruto. Sasuke's my brother, I won't let him watch how this ends. I give you my word, his family and yours will remain untouched, no matter the result. A promise between warriors. Naruto nodded and held the half-ram sign. Naruto Uzumaki, first range shadow and leader of the Akatsuki. Yakin mirrored the gesture. Yakin Otsutsuki, Jubai host and brother to the first sage. It'll be my honor to face you. And mine, Naruto, let's see who is stronger. They bowed, then launched forward, vanishing and reappearing at close range. Naruto ducked Yakin's punch and countered with a brutal uppercut. Yakin flipped from the momentum, landed, and unleashed a wave of pressurized wind. Naruto charged straight through, swung wide, but Yakin redirected the strike and retaliated with a knee and elbow. Naruto absorbed it, took him down with a sweeping leg trip, and smashed his head against the ground. Naruto grabbed his cloak and unleashed a barrage of punches to Yakin's face. After several, Yakin caught one and returned a headbutt, stunning Naruto. He followed up with a rising kick to the jaw that launched Naruto skyward. Recovering midair, Naruto rubbed his chin. He's good, why isn't he using his half of Shinju yet? Because I don't need to, Yakin replied, floating up. You're holding back. No, I just don't like relying on him unless it's necessary. You should always use your advantages, Naruto said, forming a katana from a truth-seeking orb. Especially ones like this. He charged, slicing Yakin. The enemy dodged the second swing and kicked, but Naruto blocked it with a buckler formed from the orb, which then wrapped around Yakin's leg like a snake. Damn it, Yakin cursed, tearing off his own leg to escape, only for it to regenerate instantly. He surged forward in frustration and was punished. The orb reformed into a spear and stabbed through his chest. 3 more followed. Yakin shattered them with a heavy blow, caught one mid-fall, and hurled it at Naruto's head, only for it to stop in midair at Naruto's command. It still belonged to him, after all. And the fight was far from over. Impressive, Yakin. You're keeping pace with even my truth-seeking orbs. I can wield them too, Naruto. Don't forget that. Still, I'm actually enjoying this now. As am I. Then come. Let's paint the battlefield red. Meanwhile, Kushina and Karin, Naruto-ne, Karin whispered as she watched the brutal clash unfolding before her eyes. He's all right now, Kushina said, surprising Karin. What? Who is? Your brother, I see it clearly now. This confrontation with the outsider, it's brought out the real him. Whether intentional or not, this enemy has reminded Naruto of who he truly is and reignited his dream to bring lasting peace. This will be the decisive battle, one that determines the world's fate. After this, someone will stand above all others as the true arbiter of the shinobi world. I hope it's my brother, I hope he wins. He's giving it everything he's got, Karin-chan, he really is. He can do it. Naruto and I. I think I'll stick around a bit longer. I want to see who stands tall at the end. With Konan and the Akatsuki, now this is a damn fight. Hidden yelled, watching the distant duel between Naruto and Yakin from their observation point. Naruto-kun seems to be holding his own, Sakura sighed in relief. I'm still hyped from what happened minutes ago. A planetary blast, a tailed beast bomb, one of his special Rasen Shuriken moves, damn. Hidden's right, this is peak entertainment. Suichitsu added, drawing some chuckles from the nearby AIM shinobi. Naruto-sama's got this, he'll tear that bastard down, shouted an AIM Jonin, earning cheers from those around him. Let's go, Naruto-sama. Crush him, leader. Naruto-sama, we're all with you. In the midst of all the chants and noise, Konan remained silent, her hand gently resting on her belly, a warm smile spreading across her face. You've got this, Naru-kun, Yusuke and I believe in you. Battlefield blocking another blow, Naruto retaliated with a vicious right hook that sent Yakin hurtling backward. The roaring cheers of his allies echoed in his ears. That's right, he muttered, spitting blood aside. I'm not alone, I've got comrades, friends, Ko-chan, they're all with me. And what's that supposed to mean? You have no one left, Yakin. You're fighting just to fight me. I'm fighting to ensure my children and their children grow up in a world without war, so they never have to live in fear. And you're willing to die for that dream? If that's what it takes, then yes. You really are noble, Naruto, but you're still holding back. Show me the power of my brother. Then it ends here, Naruto declared before uttering a single word that froze Yakin's blood. Limbo. Impossible, you shouldn't know that technique. Afraid, Yakin. Your Rinnegan can't perceive my shadows, can it? Is this the one thing your eyes can't pierce? Shut up. Strike him down. As soon as Naruto gave the command, Yakin was smashed back to the ground by invisible forces, then to the left, right, and into the air, where Naruto awaited with a palm outstretched. Shinra Tensei! The force wave crashed into Yakin, cracking ribs and staggering him, but he endured. Yes, that's the power of my brother. At last, black orbs formed behind Yakin, his Shinju powers awakening, but they flickered out the moment Naruto plunged a chakra-cloaked hand into his chest. What are you doing? Shinju, return to me. No, this isn't possible. But it was. Naruto pulled Yakin's half of the Shinju out and combined it with his own, restoring it to its complete form. So this is the power of the true Ten Tails Jinchuriki, Naruto said. And no, I can't fall, not like this, Yakin gasped. Naruto grabbed him by the throat, dove from the sky, and slammed him into the ground. It's over, Yakin. With the Shinju whole again, I now wield unmatched power. No one can stand against me. What now, infinite dream? No. Now you return to your family. Grandfather and Lady Kaguya are waiting. I understand, make it swift. Naruto nodded and formed his hand into a finger gun, firing a truth-seeking orb through Yakin's head. And with that, silence blanketed the battlefield. The first rays of dawn crept across the horizon on October 10th, bathing Naruto in morning light as he looked upward. I did it. I finally achieved true peace. After everything, the dream is real. He looked down. Yakin died with a smile, accepting his fate. Rest well, Yakin, I'll protect this world. He set the body aflame in a warrior's farewell and didn't leave until his final respects were paid. He walked slowly, peacefully, feeling like time itself had slowed. But his thoughts were interrupted by a familiar voice. Naruto-ne, Naruto-ne, Karin cried, leaping into his arms and laughing joyfully as he spun her around. You did it, Nick-san, you won. It wasn't easy, Imauto, but yes, we won. Haha, he spun her again, ignoring Kushina until she cleared her throat. Keika-chan, he asked, stunned as he gently put Karin down. Is that really you? Hi, I already spoke with Karin-chan and she didn't finish. Naruto tackled her in a hug and she returned it tightly. Ka-chan, I did it. For you, for Tu-chan, for Jirya-sensei, for Ba-chan. I know, Naruto-kun, and I'm so damn proud. I was scared for a moment, but you came back from the edge. You rose like you always do. Your father would have said the same thing. Keika-chan, you're going to be a grandma. Silence, then, EHH, grandma. Naruto-kun, you're going to be a father. You didn't tell her, Karin. Maybe, Karin replied, slightly flustered. And Karin-chan, that makes you an aunt, be happy. Oi. I already had my emotional breakdown when I found out, okay, she said, adjusting her glasses. Naruto-kun tilde, called another familiar voice as Hinata threw herself into his arms. Hinata, I did it. I saw it all. I didn't think it could happen, but you made it real. Is Sasuke awake yet? You tell me, idiot, came Sasuke's voice. Sorry for knocking you out, Sasuke. I needed to end this alone and didn't want you getting hurt. I get it. I'm still annoyed, but you saved my life. Hinata told me everything. You were looking out for me like always. Glad you're not bitter for once, team. Love you too, loser. Enough already. Take me to meet my daughter-in-law, Kushina demanded. All right, Naruto laughed. Everyone grab on. As they lifted off, they saw the resistance below dropping their weapons, surrendering. Naruto's victory was undeniable. Has it sunk in yet, Nig-san? Karin asked. That I won? Yeah. Know that you're now the world's ruler. All that's left is to make it official. That can wait, Karin. Right now, let's just enjoy this moment. The rest of the short flight was quiet, peaceful. When they arrived, the camp erupted with cheers and admiration. Naruto made his way through them effortlessly. Everyone knew who he was looking for. I told you I'd come back, Naruto said, smiling wide. I knew you would. You always keep your promises, Conan replied, walking into his arms and giving him the slowest, most heartfelt kiss of his life. Happy birthday, Naru-kun, she giggled. Oh, that's right. It's my birthday today. Just then, Kushina made her way through the crowd, and upon spotting Conan, her excitement overflowed. You're my daughter-in-law. Are you expecting? Is it a boy or a girl? How did you and my son fall in love? Kushina bombarded her with questions until Conan looked visibly overwhelmed. Mom, maybe ease up a bit, Naruto said, gently reminding her that she was being overly inquisitive, especially for someone brought back from the dead. Sorry, it's just that I've been dying to meet the woman my son chose before my soul returns. No harm done, Mom, Conan replied shyly, her cheeks tinged pink. Naru-kun, she's so adorable. I think so too, Mom, Naruto said warmly as he gently held Conan's hand, prompting a squeal of delight from Kushina, who acted like she was about to faint from the cuteness. Sensing Naruto needed an assist, Sasuke stepped forward to address both their forces. Soldiers of Aimgakure, members of the Akatsuki, raise your voices in celebration of our triumph. Cheers and victorious cries rang throughout the entire encampment. And now give your praise to the Aimkage who brought us to this decisive victory. The shouts grew even louder this time, echoing far and wide. Aim forces, Akatsuki, Naruto called out. There's only one final step left. We must end this conflict officially. Set out within the hour and bring back Anoki. We'll accept his surrender and close this chapter for good. What do you say? Naruto. The army roared in unison, heading out with pride, leaving no resistance behind. Anoki and Kiritsuchi were eventually discovered and brought before Naruto, Sasuke, Sakura, and Hinata. You've run out of places to hide. Anoki, give up now, and I might show mercy to you and your foul-mouthed granddaughter. You speak the truth, boy. Even if I resist, my forces have already surrendered. With reinforcements from Gaara, and Mei soon arriving, I'm out of moves. So I hereby yield, both myself and my granddaughter, to your command. This might be the first wise choice you've made in this whole conflict, old man, and unfortunately for you, there's no room for relics like you in my new world. Taking the cue, Sasuke drew his Chokyudo and drove it cleanly into the elder's heart. Kiritsuchi lunged, but Naruto immediately conjured a chakra rod and aimed it at her chest. I still need one more for my paths. You'll complete the set nicely, Kuro. Screw you, Uzumaki bastard. Not into corpses, sorry. With that, he plunged the rod into her heart, ending her life instantly as her body began to shift into its new form. This is it, the final moment of victory, Hinata whispered. You're in control now, Naruto-kun, or should I say Emperor? Sakura asked. Emperor Uzumaki, I do like how that sounds, he replied. Has a ring to it. And me, Naru-kun, I used to be your enemy, and I was once the host of the Shinju. What will become of me? Naruto motioned for everyone except Hinata to leave. He stared out at the shattered remnants of Konoha from atop the Hokage monument and sighed deeply. Zetsu, he called out as the plant-like figure emerged from below. Yes, Naruto-sama, Zetsu responded. It's time. Time for wa. Hinata's sentence was cut short as Black Zetsu's hand pierced her chest. Blood spilled from her mouth as she gazed at Naruto in shock, betrayal etched into her final expression before Black Zetsu's influence overtook her. Her body twisted and changed until minutes later, a new figure stood in her place. Feels good to be back, said a woman's voice. I figured you'd want to witness the finale personally, Kaguya. Oh, Naru-kun, getting soft on me again, she teased, stepping closer. You liked my gentler side, didn't you, my princess? She cooed. Keep that up, and I'll show you the reward awaiting you at the end of True Peace. Oh, and what sort of prize is that? Don't play coy with me, Emperor. Turning my words on me now, Empress. How cruel, just shut up and take this. With no further delay, Naruto and Kaguya slowly leaned in. When their lips met, an almost electric spark passed between them, deepening the kiss. After a moment, Kaguya broke away but held onto Naruto's cloak, eyes locked on his. You're the only man I've truly loved, Naruto-kun. I used Hagoromo's father, but you make me feel something real. I trust you with my very existence. My soul belongs to you. And I love you too, Kaguya. No one else has reached me like you have. Naru-kun, Conan's voice broke through the moment. Conan, I'm sorry. What we had wasn't real. Not real, not real. It meant everything to me. I'm carrying your child and now you're casting me aside for that monster. Conan, please let me explain. No need, Naru-kun, let's tell her now. Go ahead. I'd love to hear this nonsense. Naruto's expression went cold. He raised his right hand and the sky darkened as the full moon appeared overhead. No more talk. Actions speak louder. Without another word, Naruto removed his forehead protector, ignoring Conan's horrified gaze. This is justice, Kaguya murmured, embracing him as he revealed a third eye. As they levitated into the air, the eye fully opened, glowing with godlike power. It all begins now, Kaguya said. Infinite Tsukuyomi, Naruto announced, his eye casting a divine pattern on the moon. Light bathed the planet. This will be, Kaguya began. Our true peace, Naruto finished as they kissed once more, bathed in the heavenly glow. Then silence. The entire world fell into stillness, captured by the infinite Tsukuyomi, except for Konan, Sakura, and Sasuke protected within Susanoo's shield. Sasuke, Konan whispered. Eyes ahead, Konan, this isn't finished, Sasuke replied firmly, maintaining his shield. Sasuke-kun's right, we're not done yet, Sakura added. How, Naruto-kun, he betrayed everything. He's with her now, how do we stop them? You may have been his wife, Konan, but even you don't know everything about him or his real motives, Sasuke said as his Susanoo faded. What do you mean? You'll see. Just watch. Meanwhile, Naruto and Kaguya descended before them, still locked in an intimate kiss. Kagu-chan, Naruto murmured against her lips, just before their tongues met again in a brief clash of dominance. Shut it, she whispered, locking her arms around him, only to freeze when his hands cupped her face. You made one crucial error, Kaguya, he said flatly, pulling away and spitting in revulsion. You took Hinata's body, not mine. So you're weak, only your eyes remain. What? Naruto showed her the Yang seal on his right palm and the Yin seal on his left. Her eyes widened in horror. I've sealed you again, this time without the power you once had. You tricked me. You might try using your Rinnegan, but it's nothing compared to mine. You're finished. So that was it all along, Conan whispered. Yeah, Sasuke added. That's why he triggered the infinite Tsukuyomi to prevent her from resisting during the sealing. But since she possessed the wrong body, she's a shadow of her former self. But Kaguya whispered softly. It was never genuine. It was a performance, just a deception to get you to lower your guard. My heart was never yours, and it never will be, because someone else claimed it long ago. Her name is Uzumaki Konan. Kaguya's stunned look morphed into visible sorrow, and Konan burst into tears. En Naruto-kun, the blue-haired woman cried into her hand, trying to stifle the sobs. Everything he did for you and Yusuke, Konan. You're the one who stole his heart, Sakura said, her smile faint but sincere. No, I am Otsutsuki Kaguya. The rabbit deity. Kaguya shrieked in fury, black tendrils erupting from the ground and coiling around her. I won't allow this again. I won't. This world belongs to me. No, Kaguya, Naruto snarled, extending his right hand toward her forehead. This world belongs to me now. Traitor, seal! With that one command, more dark vines surged up, swallowing Kaguya entirely as her furious, haunting screams echoed while she was dragged beneath the surface, until nothing remained. I'm sorry, Hinata, I needed one last offering, Naruto whispered, glancing at the Hyuga heiress before turning and clapping his hands, making his way toward Konan, Sasuke, and Sakura. It's finally done, Sasuke exhaled. At last, peace, Sakura agreed, placing a gentle kiss on her husband's cheek. Not just yet, Naruto cut in. Infinite Tsukuyomi release. A bright light followed his words, dispelling the illusion and restoring the world to normalcy. Now it's over. He smiled as Konan rushed into his arms and kissed him with fierce emotion. Grunting in surprise, he embraced her, his hands resting at her sides while she locked her arms around his neck. After a few seconds, she ended the kiss, then smacked him lightly. Don't ever pull that stunt again, Uzumaki Naruto. I thought my heart was going to stop. Was my kiss that intense? He asked with a cocky grin. You're impossible, she scoffed, kissing him again regardless. I'm sorry, Naruto murmured between kisses, gently nibbling her lower lip until she opened up to him. Their tongues clashed in a heated contest, with Konan ultimately winning. She parted from the kiss with a deep blush. I can think of one way for you to make it up to me. Oh, what's that? Give a proper victory speech, and let me stand by your side when you do. Of course, my empress, Naruto said, winking. Empress, Konan tapped her chin thoughtfully. Empress Uzumaki, I could get used to that. Careful, or I'll promote you to court jester, Naruto teased, earning a playful slap. Let's just get it over with already. Sure enough, 10 minutes later, the Shinobi Alliance stood assembled just outside Konoha. Naruto stood atop the village walls with Konan at his right, Sasuke on his left, and Gaara, Mei, and behind him. Cameras surrounded the area, broadcasting to nearly every corner of the world. Friends, allies, comrades, Naruto began. When this conflict began, there were many doubts. Doubts about whether our cause was just. Fears over whether our intentions warranted the fight. These concerns led to two major villages, Konohagakure under Tsunade, and Iwagakure under Anoki, standing against us. Soon others joined them. Mifune and the Samurai of Iron Country, and Kabuto, pupil of Orochimaru. I never held it against them. Their fears were understandable. He paused to let the words settle. They feared the shift we represented, feared me and what I might do, especially with the memory of Pain's assault on Konoha still fresh, and with the Rinnegan in my eyes. Even now, uncertainty clouds the path ahead. But I believe in you all. Just as I've come to trust Gaara, Mei, and every one of you gathered here, I believe the next generation will thrive under your care and guidance. Another pause, his voice steady. A new chapter begins now. I swear on my title and on my life, peace and prosperity will reign. Our victory marks the start of a golden age, one that won't be easily broken. At this moment, I declare the Fourth Great Ninja War officially over. The crowd erupted with jubilant cheers, echoed in the villages of Aim, Suna, Kiri, Kumo, and even Iwa. Celebrate, my friends, this is the dawn of a new era, and I swear to protect it, not as Sage of the Six Paths, not as the first Aimkage, but as your fellow shinobi, Uzumaki Naruto. Cheers erupted again as Konan entwined her fingers with his. The cages exchanged glances behind him. Naruto, Gaara called. It's time, we must deal with the aftermath. Yeah, Naruto muttered, releasing Conan's hand and heading with the cages into the Hawkage building. All right, May began once seated. First topic, the future of Konoha, any suggestions? I have one, Naruto said. We could help restore Konoha to its former glory before Pain's attack. With our pooled resources, it's feasible. Or just leave it in ruins, as a symbol of our triumph, I proposed. Or, we could divide the land of fire and abandon the village. But what if we installed someone we trust as the sixth Hokage? Naruto suggested. Who do you have in mind? Gaara asked. Sasuke. He was my second in command during the conflict and displayed great leadership. That's acceptable. At least we'd know Konoha won't betray us, May agreed. All in favor? Gaara asked. All cages nodded. Then it's settled, Gaara confirmed. Sasuke will lead Konoha's reconstruction under our supervision and funding. And what of Iwa? I asked. That's more complex, Naruto replied, fingers steepled. Konoha's paid their dues. Iwa, on the other hand, lost their Tsuchikage and many elites. From what I've heard, most civilians and some shinobi were planning a coup against Anoki. That's true. My scouts reported similar findings, Gaara added. Make them a puppet state, I suggested. I support that. Appoint a trusted Yondaime Tsuchikage and fill the council with pro-alliance members. That way we control any future threats, Naruto proposed. Who should we appoint? May inquired. My sister Temari. She's focused, disciplined, and commands respect even from Iwa, Gaara recommended. I agree, Naruto said. As do I, May nodded. Then it's agreed, I confirmed. Is that all? Naruto asked. Not quite, Gaara replied, standing with the others. We've made one more decision. You'll remain Supreme Commander of the Alliance. The cage titles still stand, but we'll defer to your judgment. Are you sure? Naruto asked, rising in shock. We are, you have the people's trust and a leader's heart, Gaara said. I'm deeply honored. Just promise us you'll uphold the responsibility. I will, you have my word. And raise your child right, May added with a teasing smile, causing Naruto to blush. Don't tease me, he mumbled, cheeks burning as everyone glanced at Conan's growing baby bump. 13 years later, Hidden Rain Village, Yusuke, I swear by all the gods above, get your butt back here right now. Shouted a girl as the boy in question zipped past her, laughing wildly while scaling a building wall by focusing chakra to his soles. Yusuke, get down here this instant. She shouted again, glaring up at the son of the sage himself. 13-year-old Yusuke had tousled, sunlit blonde hair that mirrored his father's presage transformation, along with vivid blue eyes reminiscent of Naruto's own. He stood at 55, his frame lean and nimble, and bore the yin seal on his right hand. His outfit consisted of a snug, short-sleeved black tee over a chainmesh undershirt, black utility pants, open-toed shinobi sandals, and a long, leather black jacket with red trim around the collar, unzipped, displaying a crimson cloud emblem on the right shoulder. A few wrappings hid his yin seal, and his hands were clad in black, fingerless gloves. His rain headband was tied firmly to his forehead, standard gear adorned his body, and a katana rested sheathed at his left hip. Come on, Sa-chan, Yusuke teased, dangling a necklace from his right hand, the Uchiha crest swinging mockingly. Sayuri Uchiha, affectionately dubbed Sa-chan, was the eldest child of Sasuke and Sakura. She possessed the archetypal Uchiha features from her father, but had certainly inherited some of her mother's temperament, which was on full display now. She had shoulder-length raven-black hair, piercing charcoal eyes, and at 13, stood about 53, with a fair complexion characteristic of her clan. She was already developing in a way that suggested her future would mirror her mother's beauty. Her attire featured a sleeveless black shirt with the Uchiha crest on the back, black cargo shorts, sandals, a zipped-up, long-sleeved black hoodie that stopped just beneath her chest, her figure already leaning into a low B-cup. Mesh padding covered her elbows, knees, right shin, and left ankle. She carried the standard ninja gear and had a ninjato strapped diagonally across her back for quick access. Give it back already, idiot, she snapped, pouting. Nope. You know the deal, catch me if you want it. Never, then it's mine now. Like hell it is. And with that the chase resumed. They sprinted through the rain village, Yusuke always a step ahead, though Sayuri was smiling the whole time, as was he. They finally collapsed atop a building a mile from the Akatsuki Tower, laughing and gasping for breath. I win again, Yusuke said between chuckles, earning a playful smack on the chest from Sayuri. After catching their breath, he gently lifted her chin and slipped the necklace over her head, settling it against her neck. A light blush crept onto her face. I could have done that myself. I know, I just wanted to. Is that so bad? Why you're such a pain? Hey, what's wrong? You make it too easy to fall for you, you dumb blonde. At least I'm your dumb blonde, right? Shut up and kiss me already. And Yusuke did just that. He embraced her, kissing her lips softly. Sayuri melted into the moment, her fingers threading through his hair. When she pulled back, she sighed deeply. I hate having to leave you again. Dad's here for a diplomatic check-in on Konoha. These meetings are the only time we get to see each other, with me stuck in the leaf and you here in the rain. Why not just ask Sasuke-san if you can stay here? Live with me, Tu-chan and Ka-chan. I'd like to, but I'm scared he'll say no. You won't know until you ask. Come on, let's go see my old man. Akatsuki Tower, same time, I see, a man murmured, staring out across the hidden rain as he often did. This was none other than Naruto Uzumaki, now 30, but appearing no older than 19 thanks to his altered state. His hair had returned to its natural golden hue, his Rinnegan dormant, and his third eye hidden until needed. His attire echoed his past look as the Jinchuriki of the Ten Tails, albeit with tweaks. His flak jacket had darkened to near black, the kodachi gone, and he now wore a white scarf draped around his neck, trailing about a foot behind him. Konoha's doing all right. According to Temari's intel, Iwa is still cooperative. The piece you carved out is holding steady, reported Uchiha Sasuke, clad in Konoha's Jounin outfit, complete with the police force insignia on one shoulder, and a short-sleeved Haori bearing the Uchiha symbol with a few red clouds sewn in. A nod to his enduring bond with the Akatsuki, now acting more like Naruto's private military. Excellent, and the overall alliance, still standing strong. Gotta admit, when you made all those promises back then, I thought you were full of crap. Really? That's surprising, huh? Well, to me, yeah. When have I ever not sounded full of crap to you? Don't start. Hesh. Haven't felt this at ease in a while. You're the top dog now, stress comes with the title, and hey, I get it, you've got twins. Speaking of which, how are Sa-chan and Miko? Sa-chan came with me, she's around here somewhere. Miko. She's already an ANBU captain, reminds me of a Tachanai. And Sayuri, Jounin for now, she wants into ANBU like her sister. And, I'm seriously considering it. What about Yusuke and Kenshin? Yusuke's ANBU already off duty at the moment, and he's actually Kenshin's squad leader. They want into the Akatsuki someday, but I want them more seasoned before that. Smart call. Man, parenting's tough. Wouldn't give it up for anything though, couldn't agree more. Tu-chan, hey Tu-chan, Yusuke's voice rang out from the balcony. Right on cue, Sasuke muttered knowingly. Yusuke burst in, Sayuri right behind him. Sasuke, I have an important request, Yusuke declared. My answer's yes, Sasuke replied, arms folded. That was easier than I thought. Atu-san, are you serious? That can't be it, Sayuri stammered. Mind catching me up here? Naruto asked, raising a brow. Yusuke wants Sayuri to stay with him, I'm giving my permission. Was only a matter of time. If you're good with it, she's welcome in my home. I'll allow it. But, Sasuke paused, activating his Sharingan as he eyed Yusuke. If she ends up pregnant before she's at least 16 or 17, I will be making a not-so-diplomatic return. Oi, wait till I awaken my Rinnegan. I'll send you flying one day, Sasuke. Ha, you're a century too early for that, brat, just take care of my daughter. I will, she's safe with me. As Sayuri laced her fingers through his, he grinned. In every sense of the word. You little punk, Sasuke growled, catching the double meaning. Naruto, however, burst into laughter. Yusuke, ha, you're turning more into me every day. While peace reigned across the major nations, a village straddling the border of the rain and fire territories told a different story. Corpses covered the streets, fires blazed, and only one man stood unscathed in the carnage. Well now, he hissed. Security here's gotten sloppy. Looks like our supreme leader is slacking. Kabuto, is it really smart to stir trouble in this area? Asked a woman kneeling atop a building nearby. It'll rattle the alliance, no doubt. And thanks to you, I've returned to the living, came a third voice as a man rose from the ground behind them. We needed you now more than ever, Anko affirmed. Then I'll say it one last time, Kabuto said, bowing slightly as the man walked forward. Welcome back, Orochimaru-sama. Orochimaru cracked his neck and smirked. If what you've told me is true, then it's high time we brought a little chaos back into this world.